Here we
Take
go.
a look at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Check this out. Check this out. This was just a little bit earlier. Donald Trump,
We may break 100.
he did a flyover in Trump Force One. Yes, that's right. Trump Force One over New Jersey.
Trump Force One to the great state of New Jersey. Put your hands together for the 45th
Check that out.
and 47th President of these United States, President Donald J. Trump.
How awesome is that, man? That is just so cool.
Trump Force
Come on.
making its way over
New Jersey, Donald Trump in New Jersey,
Jersey. What?
all because
Shot that
the courts
I mean,
have been keeping him in New York for the past few weeks because of the hush money trial, of course. But guys, Donald Trump is supposed to be taking the stage any minute now.
He should be here.
Now, I know that Donald Trump is not the most punctual person ever. I know he likes to build the anticipation a little bit, you know, get everyone excited. So he might be a couple minutes late. But guys, I mean, seriously, look at the size of this crowd.
I don't see
This is New Jersey, okay?
We wait for President
This
Trump.
is a liberal blue bastion,
President, not so good news.
and he drew 80,000 people. Now, check this out. So if I go up, so this is from Nick Sorter. Trump Force One does a flyover of the 80,000 plus Patriot crowd in Wildwood, New Jersey. How? How does this guy draw a crowd of 80,000 people in the liberal blue state of New Jersey? So either they're lying, or the Democrats are kind of they're kind of in trouble, because Donald Trump, he's been in New York for the past few weeks because of his hush money trial, and he's just been holding rally after rally, and he decided to hold one today in New Jersey, and it's absolutely incredible, guys. I mean, I knew it was going to be a big rally, but I didn't expect 80,000 people. That's more people than that live in my town that I live in.
And explain to me.
That's just insane.
People coming up to me
That's like the size of a medium-sized town, right there, all in one place in New Jersey. Look at all those MAGA hats.
Because I guarantee
It's absolutely insane.
better off today.
But guys, while we wait,
President Trump wasn't
let's see a couple more shots here of the crowd. So this is earlier from some people on Twitter. So it's right along the beach, New Jersey. I mean, these people were here like hours ago. So I feel like a Trump traitor for starting this thing 10 minutes before he gets on the stage. And this is the boardwalk here. We have people, I mean, just absolutely cram-packed with America First patriots. I mean, you just love to see it, okay? Guys, if Joe Biden drew even, what, an eighth of this crowd? Not even, if he drew like a 20th or a 50th of this crowd, the Democrats would be absolutely freaking out. It'd be all over the newspapers. You know, Joe Biden draws record crowds. But, of course, I did a little, a Google search earlier, and this is what we have. Let me turn this off really quick. These are the articles about this rally right now. Trump rally, Wildwood, 2024. Campaign stop comes to Jersey Shore. Notice all these are like really boring headlines. And then AP News, this is what they put out. Trump heading to New Jersey Shore, or to Jersey Shore to rally, and then in quotes, mega crowd. So mega crowd, that's kind of like a, sarcastic way of saying, oh yeah, it's a mega crowd, but not really. Well, how about this, AP News? It's 80,000 plus people. And then, of course, we have MSNBC News, the best news station, the best news site ever, right? He's not welcome. So liberals are big mad over the fact that Donald Trump is an absolute icon. He's an absolute icon in the liberal city, or the liberal city-state of New Jersey. They tried their best to put him under with this hush money trial, and they're still trying. I'm actually very interested in seeing how this is going to resolve. We had the prosecution wrapping up their witnesses and their testimonies this coming week. Next week on Monday, turn this down a little bit. Next week on Monday, Michael Cohen will be taking the stand, and I'll be covering it right here on Unwoke Thoughts. So if you guys are interested in this hush money trial, because I'm absolutely fascinated by this, because I think it's just one of the craziest trials I've ever seen. I mean, they take a misdemeanor and do some sort of like legal jiu-jitsu, upgrade it to a felony to slow Donald Trump down. And I think this is one of the reasons why Donald Trump is so, he's such an icon, because he just keeps going. He keeps going and going and going. And I think, for the longest time, the American spirit really hasn't been on full display. And I think that's why people are drawn so much to Donald Trump. I'm not even like one of these people that really has heroes. I don't like to like praise people or anything like that. I'm pretty laid back dude. But Donald Trump really impresses me. I mean, he's got the entire world going after him, and he just keeps plugging away. He keeps beating these things, and it's obvious to see why, because it's just corruption that's going after him. And to watch this show, I was thinking about it the other day, to watch this show, because that's what it is. It seems like a big show. Every day I wake up and there's more Trump news, and you almost gotta respect it. Like Donald Trump, he's in the news every single day. He dominates the headlines. This guy, I almost forget what it was like before Trump, these boring headlines. But Donald Trump, these people are so delusional. They think that they can go after Donald Trump and somehow gain some ground. But unfortunately for them, everything that they throw at him, he just throws it right back tenfold. And it's not even really him throwing it back. It's just them stepping on their own feet. But it's a very interesting time that we live in. Let's see, who do we got in the chat? I noticed that there was some people here pretty early. We got Ann in the chat. She says, I never attended a rally for anyone, but have gone to listen to events by former presidents, but not campaigns. Who else we got in the chat here? We got Michelle. Michelle, thanks for modding in the chat. As usual, you're incredible. Really appreciate you. Everyone say hi to Michelle. She's the best. Ann Davis. We got Cheryl, Trump 24. Let's go. Dan Buckley says bravo. Michelle says Lou Valentino is there today. Yeah, I saw he was live. I saw that Lou was he was live, and I wish I could be there, But unfortunately, I don't live near New Jersey. I live nowhere near. When he came to Green Bay, Wisconsin, I went to his rally there, and it was completely packed out, filled to the brim, to as many people as that little convention center could hold. I think it was like 3,000 people. And there were liberals on Twitter posting like, oh, Donald Trump pulls a really small crowd in Green Bay. Well, what they failed to say is it was filled to capacity, 3,000 people, I believe. And I got there really early because I live pretty close by. And I waited outside in line for probably about 45 minutes or an hour. And it started raining, sleeting, snowing. It was cold. And the line stretched out so long. It stretched out across the bridge. So it was a good maybe, I don't even know what that would be, like a half-mile long line. And these people are waiting in freezing temperature, snow and sleet and ice, and it was miserable. But guys, I mean, the guy, he's risen to this iconic status, and this is what the Democrats, the left, are so afraid of. They know what can they do? They can't do anything with this. But very soon, Trump will be coming out. Let's see. What else do we have? On Twitter, I was kind of looking at some of the crowds here, guys. Here's another view of the crowd. I mean, that looks like a really sweet rally, actually. You've got the amusement park in the background. These are just people just posting their random views. This must have been pretty early on. I mean, as you guys saw just a second ago, this whole spot is just completely cram-packed. Look at this. Look at this right here. Hold on, so let's go. Man. What are the Democrats gonna do? You guys in the chat, what do you think the Democrats have to answer for this? Because this is a full-on movement. I don't care what you say. Yeah, I can't play. I'll get struck if I play that. But yeah, look at this, guys. That looks like a lot of fun, doesn't it? Okay, we have Chuck in the chat. Mega MAGA. Let's go. When don't they? Yeah, I mean, that's very true. Laura Koza says, when don't they fail? They do. They do. Oh, and then we have our guy George right here. Guess someone painted a picture. Painted a picture of Donald Trump upside down? Is that what he said? Hey, Coolissimo, how's it going, my brother? Thanks for watching, man. Hey, we might as well watch this while we're waiting for Trump to come out. Don't worry, guys. I have another screen right here. So if he comes out while we're watching this, I'll switch back to that really quick. Chuck says, New Jersey is primarily a Democratic state, and look at this turnout. What does that tell you? Exactly. That tells you people are sick of the crap. People are sick of what's going on in our society today. People are sick of America being trashed on. The middle class, you know, the average person being basically destroyed in the economy, and the border's wide open. There's just so many problems that could be easily fixed. But the people that control Biden don't want to fix them. They have another globalist agenda in mind. That's what I believe, at least. Babs says Trump 2024. Hey, welcome to the stream, Babs. Thanks for watching. If you guys could, before Trump comes out, smash that like button. I'm gonna go over very soon. All right, I'm gonna switch back over to this, guys. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let me fast forward. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, wow. That's how it turned out. That actually looks pretty sweet. Okay, guys, we're gonna switch back over to the Trump live stream. Here we go. Everybody waiting with bated breath. He was supposed to come out at 5 Eastern time, which is 4 o'clock my time. So very soon. Miriam says it looks like fun to me too. Yeah, I mean, I've never been to like a massive Trump rally like this outside. The one I went to was inside in a convention center. But this looks cool. I did go to Georgia whenever he was, he had his mugshot taken and he was arrested by Fani Willis. And that was outside. It was kind of a Trump rally, but he didn't speak. But that was a lot of fun, let me tell you. There's nothing like Trump people. I mean, guys, they're the coolest. A lot of fun, stuff just happening all over the place. Oh, we got a lot more people in the chat. Hey, guys, let me know where you're from. Where you watching from? Got Skip Malone. It's a flag, and he pulls off the part, and President Trump's in the middle. Yeah, we just saw that. Terry says, keep your head on a swivel, protect your loved ones, have your neighbors sick. I mean, yeah, that's the most important thing right there. I mean, family and friends and neighbors, that's the most important things. Greetings from Nutley, New Jersey. Here we go. Zahava, what, are you at the Trump rally right now? What's going on? Cindy says, love listening to your lives. Hey, thank you. I don't go live very often. But I figured, hey, why not? Trump in New Jersey, that sounds like an interesting live stream. Willie says, hello, all from rural Arizona. Let's go, Arizona. Big fan of Arizona. Durton says, USA, USA. Let's go. Mesa, Arizona in the house. Ohio in the house. Let's go. Chuck says he grew up in Westfield, New Jersey. Pennsylvania, Texas. Hey, Texas in the house. Let's go. Texas. I lived in Texas for many, many years. Went to school in Texas, actually. Went to school at the University of Texas at Austin. Lived in Austin for a few years. Very, very liberal city, but it's a nice city. It's not like California liberal. It's a little bit different. A little bit more well-managed than California. Willie says, big fan of a good live stream. Hey, well, I hope I meet your expectations. I'll do the best I can. Like I said, I don't go live often. I mean, I go live on my other channel with a co-host, but I don't go live often solo. Let's just put it that way. Connecticut in the house. Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, I love Phoenix. It's very hot there. It's very hot in Arizona. I remember when I was a kid. Well, I was like 12 years old. I went golfing in Arizona, and I made it like 9 holes until I was so thirsty I couldn't go any longer. Florida in the house. We got California in the house. Let's go. All right, I'm going to leave this sound on in the background. Let's see what else is going on. I got Twitter pulled up here. There's the painter. We just saw that. The flyover. Do you guys see this already? Yeah, I think I showed. Yeah, I showed this at the beginning. That's just so cool. Trump Force One. I would rather fly in Trump Force One than Air Force One. I'm serious. I would. I think that'd be a cooler experience. What do you guys think? Would you rather fly with Trump in Trump Force One or Joe Biden in Air Force One? Or how about this? Would you rather ride in a crappy, like, rusty car with Trump or fly in Air Force One with Biden? I'm pretty sure I know what you guys are going to answer, but I'm just going to throw that up there. Got more crowd shots right here. I mean, the place is just absolutely packed. Wow. Yeah, Angela, Lou was there. He was there. I don't know if he's still there, but I saw he was live. I'm kind of a little bit jealous. Look at that crowd, man. If Joe Biden even got like a fraction, just like a small sliver of this turnout, the media would be making a huge deal of it. You know that, right? It'd be the biggest thing ever. Booming support for Sleepy Joe Biden. Even if he got just the people and just like this little small frame right here. Any of those people. This guy says it's the biggest Trump rally ever. Well, just wait until he goes to Madison Square Garden. Imagine the crowd there. That would be insanity. Yeah, that's another thing at these Trump rallies. It's like everybody makes money off of them. People, they make their own, Trump merch, and they go there and they sell it. So Trump is literally stimulating the economy just by having rallies, because people are able to make money off of just Trump's name. He's done more to stimulate the economy just at his rallies. Just at the money that goes through in his rallies, people making money and profit off of selling merch, than Joe Biden has in the past 4 years. Oh, I thought he was going to come out. I thought that little lull in music means he's going to come out. What else we got here? Uh-oh. No. See, I get excited. There's like this little space between the songs. All right. Skip Malone says President Trump. Amen, brother. Willie says hit that like. Yeah, guys, if you could smash that like. I'm doing my best here, okay? Smash that like. Come on. Do it for Michelle. Do it for Michelle. She deserves it, okay? She's doing a fantastic job, as usual. She's usually on these really massive live streams. But she still comes over to mine. Willie says Joe needs paid actors for his crowd. Yeah. I mean, come on. Anytime I see any sort of, even a small crowd at Biden's rallies, when he does hold them, they're very few and far between, because they got to jack them up full of amphetamines, most likely, just to get out of bed in the morning. I feel like there is a lot of that. A lot of people who are being either paid or somehow they're connected with the Biden administration in some way. It's not like this. Not like this at all. Skyle says, love it, Trump 2024. Yeah, let's go. Chuck says, Trump Force One. Hopefully Melania will be flying too. Yeah, that would be pretty interesting if Melania came to one of these rallies. Willie says, FJB. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you, Willie. Trump. Michelle says, yeah, do it for me. I'm a non-paid white slave. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, do it for Michelle. She deserves it. She absolutely deserves it. Rita says, MAGA, vote Trump. Amen. Let's see. The anticipation is growing. Got West Columbia, Texas in the house. Trump all the way. Yeah, let's go. We got, okay. We got, what is this guy's name? I forgot. This rapper, he's like a Trump rapper. He got like super rich off of making raps about Donald Trump. He's there. Have any of you guys ever been to a Trump rally? Or have you just watched them all on the internet? Man, 80,000 people. Well, here's another shot of the flyover. Let's check this out. Look at that. Look at the size of that American flag. That's pretty sweet. Willie says, we are MAGA. That's right. James says, you're doing great, Andrew. Keep up the good work. I love your coverage of the Hey, listen, man, that means a lot. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoy it because I am absolutely fascinated by that trial right now. My eyes are glued. Every time that transcript comes available, I am on it. And Monday, guys, remember, Monday, Michael Cohen is going to be testifying. That's what the reporting says, at least. Monday. He's going to be testifying. I'm going to be covering it on my channel. So if you want to catch that whenever it comes out, make sure to subscribe. Hit that notification so you don't miss it. If you just joined us right now, we're waiting for Donald Trump to come out. He was supposed to come out 13 minutes ago. But of course, Donald Trump, you know, he's usually fashionably late. Oh, here he is right here. Walking down Trump Force One. So he is there. He's just waiting to walk out. Should be very soon. All right, let's go back to the stream. Let's see what's going on here. While we wait, let me see what you guys are up to over here. Oh, you guys are really typing it in over here. Wow. Angela says you can feel the energy. Trump 2024. Yeah, that's right, James. Forgiato blow. Yeah. I actually had a little run-in with Forgiato in Georgia. I shook his hand, but later on, Marjorie Taylor Greene showed up, and I yelled out something to Marjorie Taylor Greene about her just tweeting, just sending these tweets out and not really doing much. And he was standing right next to her, and I had my camera out. He put his hand in front of my camera and put his arm around Marjorie Taylor Greene. It was really an odd moment. I caught it all on camera though. So I don't know. I don't know if me and Forgiato are friends. I don't have anything against him, but he didn't like what I said to Marjorie. Michelle says, yep, she worked at one 10 feet away from Donald Trump. I've never shook Trump's hand. Me and Lou were talking about this, I think last week. Yeah, he shook Trump's hand. Trump signed his hat. I was like, dude, that's pretty sweet. He was like, yeah, I got all the energy from Trump. Like, he's like, you shake Trump's hand. He was like, it's like a bolt of energy. And I was watching Tim Pool the other day, and he was at Mar-a-Lago, and he was saying, he walked into Mar-a-Lago and he saw Trump. He met Trump, and it's really weird. He's like, Donald Trump exudes like an aura. He's got an aura about him. He's like, people, when they're around him, they just treat him differently. He's like, they just act differently than around, an average person. Then he said that he was like, some people just have the X factor. And Donald Trump just has that X factor. You can't quite put a finger on it. Because, I mean, come on, the guy, he's a little rough around the edges. The way he talks, he's blunt. But it's something about that people just are drawn to. They really love that. And the fact that he just keeps plugging away, he just keeps going forward with this massive machine coming against him. And I think that's really what's catapulting him right now in the polls, because people see this, and I think people realize what's going on in the country, and he's like a figurehead for them. Like, because this is what people they go against this all the time. To have someone like Donald Trump continue to fight this, I think is pretty incredible. Angela says, make America great again. Amen. Dory says, the man with the plan. Let's go. Jeremy Brummer in the house. My man, Jeremy Brummer. How's it going, my brother? Miriam says, I went up with pride for our flag and all of those who love our country. I love your broadcasting. Hey, thanks, Miriam. I appreciate it. Glad you enjoy it. Skip Malone says, down the big boy stairs. Yeah. I mean, he's got regular stairs. Joe Biden has these really itty bitty stairs, It's like 1,000 stairs to get to the bottom of the plane because he'll trip. He takes these little itty bitty steps. Terry says, gives me chills to watch him walk down the stairs. Yeah, it's such an iconic scene. Donald Trump flying in some of these rallies, he pulls right up to the stage with his plane and he walks down. I mean, come on, who else can do that? Who else does that? Waiting on Trump to come back to Wilmington for a rain check. Hey, Wilmington, North Carolina. I lived on Bald Head Island for several months years ago when I was in consulting. Michelle says he was here in Duluth, Minnesota. Hope he comes back. Hey, I used to go to church in Duluth. Angela says, I'm jelly. I want to shake Trump's hand. Yeah, I mean, that'd be pretty sweet, right? It'd be nice to meet the guy. He seems like such a down-to-earth person. Bab says he just tells it like it is. I mean, yeah, like I said, he's down to earth. He doesn't beat around the bush. He's just a normal person. He can have a normal conversation with somebody. He's been through it. He's been through a lot of stuff. He's been through the ringer. He's built a company. He's actually built something, unlike, Joe Biden. Like, what has Joe Biden done his entire life except suckle off the teat of the taxpayer his entire life? That's why it's so important to get these businessmen who aren't corrupted into the White House. I mean, we can't have any more of this. They're driving our country into the ground. We don't know what they're doing. Why do they keep our border open? What's up with that? Why don't they take care of our veterans? Why do they keep sending billions of dollars overseas? I mean, like, seriously, what's up with that? Against the will of the people. You know what I mean? And it's all at the expense of our own country. Like, and then we have people like Speaker Mike Johnson, who, before he became speaker, he was campaigning that he would never send any foreign money overseas until we close our border. Everyone had high hopes for the guy. He's this Christian dude, conservative track record. He gets into the Speaker of the House. He gets the Speaker of the House seat. And it was like a slow fade, then a complete drop off where he'll pass a bill. He'll get a bill passed, not even considering the border, but send billions upon billions of dollars to Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan. After he said he was brought into this room, this like classified room where he viewed classified something or another. Nobody really knows. And he comes out and he completely flip-flops. Like, what happens in this freaking room that causes a guy to do that? Did this happen after he became speaker, or was he just compromised from the very beginning? This is a question I asked. And I don't know if I'll ever find it out. But it's, it's stuff like that. Like, people are sick of seeing that kind of thing. Because it's almost like the average population, like, we are supposed to be the voice. The government is supposed to be, the government is supposed to do what we want, because we are the people. But it seems to be the opposite. They just do what they want. In our opinion, what we want really doesn't have much of a say. It seems like that's just happening increasingly. Willie says Trump is business. Yeah. Who was it? Was it Jay-Z? He said, I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man. Yeah, I always remember that quote. Good quote. William Sorg says all patriots need that swagger again. That's true. Yeah. We got to take back the culture. We got to take back the country. I think it's very important. Willie says MAGA is strong. That's correct, brother. Michelle says Air Force One pulled into our airport. It was so big. So many people showed up to see him. They had to expand the area. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, they didn't realize how big it was going to be, and they had to expand the area. That's crazy. Jan says Wilmington, North Carolina. Yeah, hey, I'm very familiar with Wilmington. I stayed there many months, and Carolina Beach, and also Baltic Island. I remember very vividly going back and forth in that ferry, and it was nice. It was nice. Nice island. Chuck says MAGA 2024. Let's go. Michelle says smash that like. Yeah, smash that like and do it for Michelle, okay? Do it for Michelle, because Michelle deserves it. She is a trooper. She is our unpaid moderator working in the sweatshop of Unwoke Thoughts today. So she needs those likes. She gets paid with likes, okay? So, Michelle, don't leave Michelle starving for likes. Chuck says, living in Lexington, North Carolina. Hey, Lexington. Joseph says, God bless Trump. All right. Let's go back to Twitter. Let's see what else. Let me refresh the page. Maybe there's something new here. What else is going on here while we wait for Trump? Let's go to the latest. Let's go to the latest tab. Oh, look at this. Look at this shirt. End of an era. Man, they must be broke. I bet they're selling 0 shirts, right? This guy says, while Biden spends another weekend laying in his hospital bed in Delaware, tens of thousands wait to hear Donald Trump speak in New Jersey. FJB and his communist handlers. I mean, come on. It's a movement, guys. It really is. Trump has just become a total icon. And this is, honestly, this is worst case scenario for the Democrats. Worst case scenario. Trump walks out of court. He'll spend 8 hours in court. And this was supposed to be a trial that was supposed to crush him. It was supposed to absolutely crush him. But it's having the opposite effect. He holds a press conference before court. And he taunts Joe Biden. He taunts the judge. The judge is so mad he keeps smacking him with these fines for violating the gag order, right? And I think he said if he violates it one more time, he's going to go to jail. Mayor Eric Adams came out and said Rikers Island is ready for him. He doesn't care. He keeps flaunting this. And then after trial, 8 hours. Oh, we're back, guys.
Brian Glenn, it's such a pleasure to be here in New Jersey, the Jersey Shore.
Can you guys hear that okay?
The sun is starting to
Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear that fine.
But But that's not stopping the tens of thousands of people who have been camped out since last night here along the boardwalk, laying in the sand, sleeping to see President Trump.
Though, right? I just thought of something scarier than another Biden 4 years.
Oh, gosh.
That roller coaster back there. I'm not getting on any of that stuff back there.
You know, Brian, I love roller coasters. And the wilder, the better. The scarier, the better.
Well,
twists and turns and
I'm a
highs
step
and lows.
above Chuck E. Cheese at this point. I don't want.
Okay, perfect. Looks like everyone can hear it good.
Bad drop. We have.
Awesome, awesome.
It really is something that we have not seen.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but Brian Glenn on RSBN, he is Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend. So if you see the guy with the crazy blonde hair with a little pep in his step, that's Brian Glenn, Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend.
Rushmore.
I was there.
A beautiful backdrop. I think it was a July 4th broadcast, if I'm not mistaken.
I was not at that one. I was the one at one near Mount Rushmore, but not the one actually at.
Joshua knows it all. Says, I'm 30 minutes from downtown Manhattan and really don't want to have to drive to Jersey Shore to get to the rally. Hey, listen, I wouldn't want to deal with the New York traffic either. Forget that. Probably have to pay like $75 just in tolls just to get there, right?
Programming guide. I don't know what we have coming up next week. We do have the NRA convention in Dallas.
Shane Rockfast says, "Who's your pick for VP?" Who would I like? I mean, if I were to have it my way, I would say Vivek Ramaswamy. I'm a big fan of Vivek. He's a fighter. He's just like Trump in that you cannot back the guy into a corner.
Behind the scenes photos from today on X.
So I'm a big fan of Vivek. I know some people don't trust him because they say that he's just too polished. I don't know. I've liked Vivek for a long time.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Someone says Candace Owens for VP. Hey, I love Candace Owens. She's legit.
Vanessa, my first name.
Candace Owens is the best.
On Donald Trump's platform, Truth Social. Instagram, I'm there as well. Follow me, Vanessa.
Joshua says Marjorie Greene for VP. You know, man, that wouldn't be the worst pick, but I don't think I think she's just too divisive for Trump. He's looking for someone that's, because she just tried to oust Speaker Johnson, which I'm not a fan of Speaker Johnson at all. But you know, sometimes you got to play strategy, and I think Trump kind of chastised her for doing that.
And when you went on today, someone posted, "Where in the world is Vanessa Broussard?"
Skip Malone says, Vivek, I'm with you, Skip. Let's go.
If you're watching
Love
radio,
Vivek.
Earlier, it's because I had flight delay after flight delay after.
Michelle says her pick is Ben Carson. Hey, you know what?
But we made it.
I would be 100% okay with that. I love Ben Carson.
Right.
And I don't see him ever stabbing Donald Trump in the back like Mike Pence did.
And actually, I read some articles on it and said it wasn't really expected to do much of anything. Maybe.
Oh, let's see. We got more picks. Peter says Ben Carson. Joseph says J.D. Vance.
But yeah, you.
James says Vivek has too much baggage. Yeah, he does. You know, you look into his past, and there's a couple things that are concerning. He does a very good job of explaining it away. At some point you have to choose either to distrust or trust a person. And I tentatively trust the guy. I do. I tentatively trust the guy. He's earned my respect, I should say. Tulsi Gabbard, hey, she's not bad. I think she's actually going to be leaving the Democrat Party and going either independent or Republican, because she is like a square block trying to fit in a round hole over there in the Democrat side. She's nothing like them. Tim Scott, Ted Nugent for VP. Hey, that's a new one. Ted Nugent? Hey, at least we'd probably get some good concerts out of it, right?
Always something. It never used to be like this, Brian. That I
got another Vivek.
I used to fly into these events, fly right back home.
Chuck Norris for Secretary of Defense. Let's go. Or Ron Paul. Any of the Pauls I'd be okay with in Trump's administration. That'd be awesome.
Or my arrival. It's always something.
The best recently.
What else we got? Okay, VP is all about 2028. Yeah, that's true. And I think, it's one of the reasons why I like Vivek Ramaswamy is because he's a potential candidate for 2028.
3 hours from D.C. to New York, stopped a couple of times.
And we got to have someone in here to take up the mantle who is America first, because Donald Trump, he started that movement, but he's only got 4 more years left. So someone has to take up that mantle. And there's very few people out there that
Enjoy the
kind of has that X factor that Donald Trump does, and I believe that Vivek, he has some pretty good potential to have that X factor.
I despise it. I don't like the people. I think I don't like the security. I don't want to be treated like I'm a criminal going through there.
Got another Ben Carson. Tina says Ben Carson. Yeah, I mean, everyone loves Ben Carson. I mean, how could you not like Ben Carson?
Which really, when you think about
Daryl says JFK Jr. Do you mean RFK Jr.?
COVID. Because remember,
Karen says Vivek. Okay, we got another Vivek supporter in the house. Let's go, Karen. Marco Rubio. You know, if I were to guess, I would guess that Donald Trump, there's a good chance that Donald Trump picks Marco Rubio. Maybe more than others.
Don't have enough.
I'm not a big. Personally, I'm not a big fan. I think Marco Rubio has been in politics for a long time. He's not the worst, I guess, but Sarah Sanders, yeah, Sarah Sanders is good. She's like a pit bull. I have a lot of family in Arkansas, by the way.
Secretary of Transportation.
Oh, we got another Tulsi Gabbard. Vivek is all talk. Well, yeah, he's good at talk. Yeah, he is. He's very good at talk, and I would like to see him put some actions behind his talk. And I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what the future holds. I think the future holds very good things for Vivek, and I hope I don't have to eat my words in the future, because I've seen so many politicians, you know, you think they're one way, you think they're America first, you think they have your best interest in mind, and there's a moment in a lot of these politicians' career where all of a sudden they flip. And it's sad to see. And I think that's why we respect the, you know, Rand Paul, Ron Paul, you know, those types of politicians so much, because they're kind of consistent throughout their career. They have these morals, they have these ethics, and they really don't change. And they have no qualms about going after people for something they think is wrong. They can't be leveraged. They can't be blackmailed. But it's a swamp, just as Donald Trump calls it. It's definitely a swamp.
I mean, you get dedication.
I love Carrie. Yeah, Carrie Lake is fantastic. I mean, she's great. Tim Scott is too high-fivey. That's what Lugrange said. Too high-fivey. I like that. Yeah, he's a little bit, you know, kind of a yes man.
All the ones who are chiming in our chats, reading off a few.
Oh, Daryl says nope. JFK Jr. Okay. Bring back Reagan. Yeah, I mean, if only we could raise him from the dead, right? That'd be great. Confused checkered flag says Greg Abbott.
Social media.
Trump should do his consecutive 8 years. What do you guys think? Would you guys vote for Trump in 2028? I mean, I would. Oh, Maureen says Nick. Okay.
Yes, it's a boardwalk.
We got a Groiper in the house.
There is a boardwalk.
Yes.
Vivek all the way.
I was asking when you weren't here.
Tell the truth says, oh, stop your dumb guessing. Well, that's the whole fun of it, right? If you can't guess who's going to be VP, I mean, what's the point? It's kind of like a surprise birthday party, right? If you know the surprise is coming, you're always excited about it. But once it starts, it's over. So it's just the anticipation building. That's what makes it so much fun. And Donald Trump, of course, is the king of anticipation because he is already 33 minutes late. Come on, Trump. Where you at? The people want to see you, Donald Trump. Come on.
Sylvia writing in to Right Side Broadcasting.
Tracy says Vivek is not a politician. That's what I like. Donald Trump is not a politician either, and I think that's important.
81 million votes.
Well,
Donald Trump.
It's interesting you say that.
If you were, you know, years ago, if you were to put Donald Trump, I mean, even people are saying it now. This is why they hate Donald Trump, because he's not a politician. He doesn't follow the same rules and fit into the same grooves as most politicians do. He doesn't look all polished and all these other things. He goes off script all the time. He tweets out goofy things on True Social and Twitter. I mean, come on. That's what gives him the X factor. That's why he's so special, because he's not a politician in the strict sense of the word. And I think that's, I think we need more of that, honestly. I really do. Trump should pick an illegal immigrant. No, I mean, Biden's already on that.
which ballots do we count? And which ballots
Another Candace Owens.
because they're duplicate ballots, they're ghost ballots, they're phantom ballots.
Joshua says, yeah, Marco Rubio would add to the Latin vote. Yeah.
This
And, you know,
is over.
Trump always says that the VP doesn't do much. It might not do much for his numbers,
Turn into Brazil.
but I think the VP spot is important because
Bolsonaro Jr.
you are, it's just the proximity to the president.
And
You know, you can say the same thing. I was talking about this with a buddy of mine the other day, and he was like, the VP is a nothing position.
rose up.
I was like, he was like, they have no power. I said, well, you could kind of say the same thing about lobbyists. I mean, lobbyists, they really have no power themselves, but they lobby Congress, they lobby our leaders, and they get stuff passed just because they are constantly there. They have their phone numbers, they're at their offices all the time.
Already coming, yes.
And
President Trump right
the lobbyists, they create a lot of our legislation, unfortunately,
Media outlet out here.
because they have the time, the money, and the resources to do it.
Unbelievable.
And
All right.
kind of like the vice president, his proximity to the president is what gives him the power. He has the ear of the president.
President Trump flying over the crowd on Trump Force One. Thank you, RSBN, for making us feel like we're there.
All right, ladies, if you guys are just joining us, we are
The crowd's going crazy.
supposed to have Trump come out. Oh, here we go. Trump is coming out. Let me go full screen here for you guys.
You know, when they see a black car go by with its lights on, looks like there's maybe the motorcade is pulling up.
We are live in New Jersey.
We'll listen in, and
Donald Trump is pulling up.
as we see the motorcade pull up,
I wonder if he grabbed the steering wheel. Remember that whole thing?
to what's going on. Now, what you're going to see now is some of the support staff will get out of the vehicles. I believe that's Walt, if I'm not mistaken, from here. It's hard to see. But you'll see the support staff. You'll see the personal security detail get out as well. And this is, you know, there's Susie Wiles waving to the crowd there. We're probably a good 100 yards from that, so it is very difficult to see exactly who it is. But I will do my best to
Guys, if you're watching, make sure to smash that like button.
Margot.
We got about a little over 700 people watching. Smash that like button. I'd really appreciate it. I'm guessing this is Trump's motorcade.
It is 5:37 here in Wildwood.
Got his media people, the motorcade.
Motorcade is just pulled up, so we'll keep an eye on that. I know it was scheduled at 5, and they were running a little late between 5:30 and 5:45. So look, hey, any minute now we could be dipping out of this. And
Hey, we got Firebrand Media in the house.
go to
George, Firebrand. Reagan is still alive voting for the Democrats.
RSB Network.
Yeah, you know,
/donate.
it's a cruel, cruel world.
/donate.
How the turns have tabled.
You can do a reoccurring donation. You can do
Yeah, Dan Scavino.
It's just a great way to support what we're doing here. So if you kind of like what you see and you're maybe the first time you've tuned into Right Side, well, welcome.
Who else we got in the house? Pontiac, Trump, Ohio, FJB. Let's go. Let's go.
Crowd shots.
Man, I wish I was there, man.
People like to see the crowds, and especially on a day
It looks like so much fun.
with this massive crowd that we have. We're certainly going to do that. So we want to make sure we show the crowds. And
Thorny Nose says unwoke is the bet. Hey,
we have.
And like one of our viewers
Thank
just
you.
said,
I really
when
appreciate
it's
it.
on air, it makes them feel like they're here.
yeah, we got George in the house.
They see the
Firebrand
crowd,
Media.
they feel like that's
The man, the myth, the legend.
what we want. We want you to feel
George.
like you're here, and that's why
My brother.
we are here to make you feel welcome.
From another mother.
Part of our team and our RSBN family, and of course the MAGA movement.
Of another color.
Being here with all of the people and meeting all the great patriots all across America. Again, follow us on social media. Brian and I are both there. You can follow us there, have conversations with us. And then also, of course, Right Side Broadcasting Network, RSBN, is all over social media.
Willie says Trump plays the most popular songs. Yeah, and I'm hoping this stream doesn't get taken down.
If you have any suggestions for us, you can email us.
I already have it
Feedback at rsbn.tv.
demonetized and everything.
rsbn.tv.
I hope they don't take it down. We'll see what happens. A lot of times it's after the stream.
If you like
So
what you're seeing, you want to see more of the crowds, and you want to see more of the personalities of who's.
Willie says, "Are you selling merch yet?" No, I honestly I don't. I don't sell merch. I want to start coming up with some merch.
You're the boss.
Look for that in the future.
Feedback at rsbn.tv. Feedback at rsbn.tv.
Thorny says, "You guys are the best new comedy duo." Hey, yeah, we try to make it rain every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Firebrand Media.
Lots of helicopters flying over, obviously.
Or at least this week, I believe it was Monday, Thursday, and Friday.
Some news choppers flying around.
We had
it's got to look like up top.
something happened on Wednesday. We couldn't do it Wednesday. Becky, we have 80,000 people at the rally right now.
Along the beach, people cannot go.
At least those are the reports. But if you look at MSNBC, they'll probably say there was like 150, maybe, you know. They'll probably, report, very small crowd shows up to Donald Trump's rally in New Jersey. Because that's what the media, the mainstream media likes to do. They like to minimize how much support Trump has.
So we're well protected here.
But, I mean, at the end of the day,
I will say this.
they really can't deny it anymore.
On the swings, they got a spot for you, Vanessa. I'm going to pass.
It's too cold for that.
On those swings
If it was a little warmer, I may have to come back.
Joy says 79,990 people more in the crowd than Joe Biden would draw.
It is.
That's a good point, actually, yeah.
And swings.
And those 10 people that would actually be drawn by Joe Biden, they're paid. So
it's pretty much shut down.
I guess you can just say, 80,000 people more.
There's not really any rides that are open. They just shut down the swing. So that might be a
Trump supporters rock and roll.
Have in place while the president is on the premise of this boardwalk here.
All right. While we're waiting.
We know he's here. He is behind the stage right now, meeting with state leaders and those who have endorsed him, and also those who he has endorsed who are running for office, either state rep.
Let's see what else is on Twitter right here while we wait.
You know, it's interesting. I had a lady come up to me earlier when I was walking in, and she's got, "It's a beautiful day." I said, "Yes." She goes,
"All right, nothing new. Let's go back. He's gonna come out anytime, guys."
Today is a happy medium, but I would beg to argue that now we're going towards the cold side.
We're definitely
Yeah. Stephanie says, "Happy Mother's Day." Yeah, happy Mother's Day to all the moms tomorrow.
The Trump team.
We love our moms. They are the best, right? They are the best because none of us would be here without our moms. So happy Mother's Day to my mom. I don't know if she's watching.
The president who will step
My dad probably is.
We're having a great day. Thank you to Wildwood.
But happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We really appreciate all of you. You guys are the best. Firebrand says, "Is it really 80,000?" George, from all the reports that I've seen, it said 80,000 people.
I was told that it would be 50 to 100. Welcome to the Northeast, I guess.
They're talking about it right now. It's 50 to 100,000. So
I got kind of lucky because I pulled into one of these residential areas. Here we go.
Please welcome to the stage.
All right, guys, we got Trump taking the stage.
Doug Burgum.
Oh no, Doug Burgum. My bad. False alarm. False alarm. So apparently Doug Burgum is on the potential list for VP.
Good evening, New Jersey! First Lady Catherine and I just flew in with President Trump, and I got to tell you, he is so excited to be out here with you tonight in a few minutes. To kick things off, I need your help. I'm going to ask you a question, and if your answer is yes, I want you to yell Trump as loud as you can. Here we go. Who are we going to send back to the White House in November?
Trump.
Oh, that was great, but I think you can do a little better. Who are we going to send back to the White House? Okay, one more time. This one has to be so loud that they can hear it in Biden's basement in Delaware. Who are we going to send back to the White House? Trump!
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
As I said, my name is Doug Burgum. I'm the governor of the great state of North Dakota. Yeah. In North Dakota, we're building a presidential library for Theodore Roosevelt. It opens on July 4th, 2026, and you're all invited. One of my favorite TR quotes is called "The Man in the Arena." I'm sure you're familiar. Theodore Roosevelt said, "It's not the critic who counts. The credit belongs to those actually in the arena, whose faces are marred by dust and sweat and blood." You're here tonight because you care deeply about this country. You care about your community. You care about your family. You care about the future
You know,
of this country.
I think the biggest thing that goes against Doug Burgum is his name.
In the arena.
Burgum. Doug Burgum. It's just not a catchy name. You know what I mean?
And you know who's grateful that you're here? Those of you that have stood here for
He
days.
needs to change his name like
Those that are watching.
Beto O'Rourke.
President Trump is grateful that you're in the
Change
arena
it to something more catchy.
to elect him. I've had the honor to serve as governor under President Trump, and the last 3 years I've served under Joe Biden. Working with President Trump as a governor was like having a beautiful breeze at your back. President Trump respects states' rights. He cut regulation. He lowered taxes. Working under the Biden regulatory regime is like having a gale force wind in your face, because the Biden bureaucrats are treating our constitutional republic like a dictatorship. Yes? Yes, we've been living.
I mean, that's facts. They really are.
Bureaucratic rule for
true.
1,200 days. They think they've got a one-size rule for every solution. They can create a mandate and a regulation for anything to tell you what to do in your family, your small business, in your home, in your community. And they're crushing our economy and empowering our adversaries in pursuit of the big green fantasy, which is actually a nightmare that defies economics, physics, and common sense. Under President Trump...
Just say it, Doug. It's a globalist fantasy. Just say it. Don't be scared. Everyone knows it.
But under Joe Biden, he's making America energy dependent on regimes who hate America. Biden's agenda actually hurts America and helps our adversaries. It's like it was written by Russia or China. Joe Biden wants America to buy energy from our enemies rather than us sell it to our allies. That changes when President Trump is back in office on day one. President Trump will make America more energy independent. He'll go beyond that. He's going to make America energy dominant. Because President Trump knows that American greatness has always been achieved by innovation, and he believes in innovation over regulation. Under national security, President Trump, when he was in office, we had peace through his strength. Joe Biden's weakness is actually causing wars. Just look at the Middle East. Israel, barbarically attacked by the terrorist group Hamas. And who funds Hamas? Iran.
Well, we do as well. This new foreign aid bill that was passed recently, some of that money went to Hamas, believe it or not.
And has given them hundreds of billions of dollars that they're using to fight wars against our allies. There's a long-standing American principle, and President Trump would never do this. We don't negotiate with terrorists. But Joe Biden...
You know what should be a new long-standing American principle? We don't give any money to foreign countries until our border is closed. What do you guys think about that one? I think that's one that's a little bit closer to home, if you ask me.
American ally, and you know why he's doing that? Because he's trying to score political points in November with the Hamas wing of the Democrat Party. But under Donald Trump, America will be strong again and our allies will be safe. Everybody here, you all know historically the great economy we had under President Trump. You remember that. You remember that's why you're here tonight. Biden keeps lying about the state of the economy. This week on CNN, he said 15 lies in 17 minutes about the economy. Biden's inflation has come like a thief in the night. If you've got savings, it's worth 20% less than it did when Joe Biden took office. Everything that...
Yeah, Joe Biden said in that interview that when he came into office, it was 9% inflation, when I believe it was 1.9%.
30%.
So he's just outright lying now because his numbers are in a tailspin. That's what's going on.
So if you want to avoid an era of Biden blackouts, let's send President Trump back to the Oval Office.
Guys, if you're just joining, we'll have Trump out here very, very soon. We're running a little bit late. We were supposed to come out 50 minutes ago, but, you know, fashionably late, right? Make sure to smash that like button, guys. Get this pushed out there. Get that the YouTube algorithm working overtime because they don't like channels like mine.
Donald Trump means strength. Joe Biden means weakness. Donald Trump means law and order. Joe Biden is lawfare. Donald Trump creates jobs. Joe Biden's policies kills jobs. So if you've got friends that like inflation, regulation, crime, wars, sham political trials, and open borders, if you want more of that, you can get 4 more years with Joe Biden. But if you want to make America, affordable again, if you want to make America safe again, if you want to make America strong again.
Oh, Peter, he corrected 1.4%. Okay, sorry, Peter. That was my bad. It was 1. It was even better than I thought.
President Trump back to the White House and make America great again. Thank you, New Jersey.
Let's go. Let's get a MAGA. Let's get a MAGA in the chat, guys. I'm feeling excited all the way here where I'm at in Michigan. I can feel the energy all the way from New Jersey in Michigan where I am. It just exudes. It's spreading all over the country. Let's go. Epic. Absolutely epic. By the way, did you guys see these ads that are getting banned on Google? Trump released an ad recently that got banned on Google. Taken down. It was too effective.
And I said, here I am.
Fire Rain Media, George says, Doug Burgum needs to tell us why he vetoed election reform measures. What a geek. Yeah, that really says a lot about someone when they do something like that, for sure.
Welcome to the stage, retired Special Mission Unit Operator, Christian Craighead.
Good afternoon, New Jersey. I'm going to start by letting you get adjusted to my accent, because I am British. So
it's okay.
It's an absolute honor today to be here representing my friend, President Trump, and to support his message, which is democracy, freedom, and to make America great again.
Amen. Let's go.
So I'm now going to share with you some days of my life, which those days have led me to this moment right now, right here, speaking to all you beautiful people. In 2019, whilst I was serving with the British Army and living in Kenya, an Islamic terrorist organization decided to attack a 5-star luxury hotel complex. They started the attack with a suicide bomb detonation, killing 5 people instantly. One of those 5 people was an American. The remaining 4 terrorists then went on a rampage, throwing hand grenades, using automatic weapons, intent on murdering as many people as they could. Whilst all this was going on, someone inside the complex phoned me. I responded immediately, throwing my gear in the car, in my pickup, and getting there as fast as I could. When I got there was gunfire, there was explosions, and people were being murdered. But to my shock, no one else had responded, or those who were there couldn't or wouldn't respond. So instantly, I made a decision, without permission, to go in and get involved, just to get things done as we have to do. Initially, I went in alone, then working with armed civilians, then after that, working alone again, and then finally working with US-trained Kenyan police officers after 18 long, hard...
Hey, Linda Lou says, I'm new here. Thanks for the coverage. You're welcome, Linda. Thanks for watching. Uncle Rico says, stop spamming. Nah, you guys can spam the chat all you want.
As remarkable as
As long as it's good stuff. As long as it's, you know, lighthearted good stuff.
That day when I woke up, it was just like any other day. I didn't have any information about there was going to be an attack or any intelligence. It was just a normal day for me. I got up and drove out into the countryside and did some training. Once I finished that training, I headed back into the city. As I turned onto the road, this road, by the way, the only people you'd normally see on this road were African tribesmen. So I was quite shocked when I saw a man smartly dressed in a business suit and with highly polished shoes. And something strangely compelled me to break procedure and to do something against regulations and, you could say, common sense, and to stop the car and ask the guy if he wanted a lift. So I said, hey, buddy, do you want a lift? This man in the suit shuffled over, got into my pickup truck, and we started heading towards the city. He immediately asked me what my name was. I replied, Chris. He told me his name.
Alligator says, hello, Unwoke from Florida. How's it going, Alligator? Thanks for watching.
At the time.
Welcome.
He told me his age.
Hey, Resto Guy says, found you on Veteran Biker. Hey. Yeah, my man Ben. Great guy. Great guy.
He said, I was born in September, but I don't know what day. So that means in September 1975, both you and I were born. This is a good sign. He then reached into his pocket and pulled out this dagger. I should add now that I felt completely chill about this. Didn't bother, and I even joked, oh, you're not going to try and kill me with that, are you? To which he replied, no. This odd-shaped dagger that I was carrying, he said, I carry this in case I come across any demons or evil spirits when I'm on this road. So, yeah, he carries it.
This guy seems really nervous. I mean, I would be too if I was speaking to 80,000 people. I mean, come on.
He then puts it away. I said, judging by how you're dressed, I take it you're going into the city. He goes, no. Drop me off at the first village we come to. Remember, this is in Africa. So I say,
yeah, guys, before Trump comes out, smash that like button.
Yes, please. So
let's get this out to as many people as possible.
And he goes to get out.
Do it for Michelle, like I said. I pay her in likes.
His foot hits the ground.
She deserves them.
His face became all serious. And then he said, and his voice changed. And the way I've described this is it was quiet, but it was loud. It wasn't just coming from his mouth, it was coming from everywhere. And he remarked, "Chris, may God bless you many times this day. May God bless you many times this day." And I didn't really think about it much there. I thought it was a bit strange. But 30 hours later, after the most remarkable day of my life, those words came to mean a lot to me. Now, was that...
Yeah, and of course we have to the left of the podium
delivering a message from God?
another podium that says anytime, anywhere, any place, and that's the podium, of course, for Joe Biden. Donald Trump taunts him every day before he goes to court, after he gets out of court, saying, "Biden, come on, debate anytime, any place, anywhere." I would love to see it. I think everyone would love it. That would break the internet. It really would. To see a debate between Biden and Trump again. Come on.
Motivated and to show no mercy towards bullies.
But I don't think Biden will ever accept officially. He says he will. I don't think he will, though. What do you guys think? Do you think Biden will ever debate Trump?
The message goes out to everyone here that we've had moments in our life when we're struggling, when we feel like everyone's against us, and we even think, how am I going to get through with this? How am I going to do this? But the thing is, we get through it, and not only do we get through it, but we're better, and we may even be prepared for an incident we can't even see in the future. So what I want to talk about now is there's a man not too far away from me who seems to be getting attacked from every angle, every direction, and everybody, but he just keeps on going and keeps on rolling. We all know who that is, don't we? My message to him, President Trump, is what someone said to me, and I hold it close to my heart, is remember, God never chooses the prepared. He only prepares the chosen. So finally, I want to talk about my experience in the White House, how I ended up there. So in 2019, not long after the incident, the United States Secret Service, being the professionals that they are, invited me to give them a presentation about what happened that day so they could learn from it. Leading up to the presentation, they said, "Have you been to the White House?" I said, "No." They said, "Well, come bring a suit and we'll take you to the White House." So, did the presentation, and then we went to the White House. En route there, someone in the West Wing let people know that I was en route. Once I was there getting a tour by the Secret Service, I got asked to see the National Security Advisor. He wanted to talk to me and what went on in that day. So I saw the National Security Advisor. We talked for a while, and then he said to me, "Have you met President Trump yet?" President Trump? Anyone? So that's not very, that's quite disappointing, really. So let's try this again. So, I know I've went on for a bit, but I'm sat with the National Security Advisor, and he said, "Have you seen President Trump?"
There we go. A little bit better.
Still not good enough. So let's try it again. I'm sat with the National Security Advisor, and he said to me, "Have you met President Donald J. Trump?" Yeah.
Okay, that's better. That's better.
Okay, so what I want to say there, it was pretty good. It was pretty good, but this time when I say it, I want not just you all to shout it, but I want everyone who's...
Imagine watching the rally from one of those rides they have in the background.
who's supporting in the
That'd be pretty sweet, right?
Who's watching on TV. So the NSA, the National Security Advisor, said to me, ", 'Have you met the 45th President of the United States of America, President Donald J. Trump. Okay, let me finish off. So I said, no, I hadn't. So we went on down the corridor. They told me to wait in a room. While they went into a private study, that room I was in, by the way, was the Oval Office. And it's a lot smaller than it looks like in the movies, I'll tell you that. So they're in the office talking, and then the door opens and they say, come in. When I walk in, there he is, President Trump. And he reaches out his hand, and the first words out of his mouth are, thank you for saving American lives. Thank you for saving American lives. So let me add something to this. Remember, this is his private study. No one knows this is going on. Certainly the British government doesn't know what's going on. So there's nothing in it for the president. The President of the United States of America has taken time out of his busy day to thank me. And the first words out of his mouth are, thank you for saving American lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I think that shows me and everyone else in the world the true character of President Trump. Thank you all very much for your support. God bless you all, and God bless America.
Hey, that was good, right? That was good. I liked it. Trying to work the crowd a little bit. Of course, he's not as good as Donald Trump with working the crowd. But, you know, Trump is just a natural. He's got it. All right, guys, I was getting a little bit bored with that speech, so I had to butt in. I know some of you guys weren't happy with that, but all right, who do we have up next? Anytime now. Cindy says snooze fest. All right, Cindy. Oh, are you talking about the speech? Yeah, it was probably better than I would have done. I'll just put it that way. I'm not going to be too hard on the guy.
All right, as we continue our pre-show here, I would think that we're intimate for President Trump. Just a wild guess.
Oh, here's Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend.
So too, Brian. I think you're spot on. Hey, what a great vibe this is here today. Like,
he's actually a pretty cool guy. I've met him before.
Been to way more than me. Have you ever felt a vibe like that? They're all great. Every single one of them. They're all great in their own way, but there's something about today.
Yeah, well, the crowd in New Jersey, obviously, I've always experienced that when you go up in the Northeast sometimes, people are a little bit louder.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Trying to block the wind. Sorry.
Little bit more on the edge.
Yeah, what's the temperature there right now?
Crowd
Look this up. New Jersey weather.
To have President Trump walk out. Because I think that long speech there.
56 degrees. That's not too bad.
A bit long.
56 degrees? That's not bad.
Trump. They've been out here for all day.
Since yesterday. People camped out on the beach in the near freezing temperatures.
Yeah. They want him to come out.
They do.
They're getting a little bit rowdy on the
56
side.
is near freezing?
We'll step aside.
Well, we know he's here. He is definitely here in the back behind the stage meeting with some officials and donors and just shaking hands and trying to get a feel of what's going on in New Jersey and what the people of New Jersey really want and the changes that they need. So President Trump will be taking the stage here momentarily. As for us,
any minute now, guys. If you haven't smashed that like button, smash it before Trump comes up.
As the sun's starting,
or else I will find you.
Out here on the coast.
Or no, Michelle will find you.
It's really the wind.
And you don't want Michelle finding you, let me tell you that. That's the last thing you want to see is Michelle finding you.
Hood on.
I promise.
That wind. But
you will never be the same.
The people here, they're not not going anywhere. The Trump team saying 80,000 people. That's the official number coming from the Trump
80,000. That's just wild.
here along the boardwalk in Wildwood, New Jersey.
It does remind me, the Pickens, South Carolina rally was one of the hottest rallies. And I like these small towns because that was a small town rally on the main street. It was packed, by the way. It wasn't a small rally in any respect. It was the size of the town was small. But this good, I mean, as we get closer to where we're going to get more like the RNC convention coming up, when we get further into the election season, I think you're going to see.
Imagine being on the Biden administration, watching this rally.
Rallies up.
This is the biggest rally I've ever seen in my life of a president, at least.
Kind of think it might be the way.
Imagine the Biden administration watching this rally. What do you think they are thinking?
From the Trump team,
What goes through their mind as they watch 80,000 people at a rally in New Jersey, which is a Democrat hellhole?
Until President Trump takes
What goes through their mind? I genuinely wonder this. Anthony says there's 85,000. I mean, that's crazy. This person says that's about 20,000 people tops. I think he left out a zero. Maybe 200,000. It's okay. Linda says I'd say it's more than 80. Yeah, definitely more than 80. 80,000. All right, while we wait, let me see. What do you guys have to say? Umbrella says, I'm a blue state. Well, I apologize that you're in a blue state. I am in a blue state as well. I think Michigan's a blue state, right? I mean, our governor, Gretchen Whitmer, she's definitely blue. She met with George Soros' son recently, and that's never a good sign. Never, ever a good sign. Stacey says, keep America great again, the American flag, and not the Israeli flag. Yes, I agree. Don't keep the Israeli flags out of America. Okay. And the Ukrainian flags off of our Congress floor. Take care of our country first. That's what. It's simple as that. That's what America First is all about. This is where we live. Take care of America. Take care of our infrastructure, our border, our veterans. Make sure we have a thriving economy. You have some left over? Help out our allies or whatever. But when we're in the position we're in right now, we have no business sending billions upon billions, hundreds of billions of dollars overseas all the time, and not even considering what's going on, what's happening in our own country. That's the thing that just really bothers me. Michelle says they say that Minnesota is blue, but it's really red. Yeah, it seems like it's happening a lot. A lot of these, blue places are really red. In reality, they're really red. Oh, what do we got here? Thorny Nose says Muslims and Jews together forever. Alex and Huma, true love. Oh, that's right, yeah. Alex Soros and Huma Aberdeen. Yeah, I guess they're a couple now. Who would have seen that? I never. It's crazy. She is Anthony Weiner's ex. So odd couple. John says Whitmer, the COVID tyrant. Yes, absolutely. A lot of those going around. UP Michigan is red. This is true. Believe it or not, I am from the UP. Yes, I am from the UP. So I've got some good people here. A lot of weed dispensaries around me, though. I have so many near where I'm at. It's crazy. Fran says, make it a loan, not a donation. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's like the lowest requirement that we should have on this. It's foreign aid. At the very least, make it a loan, right? Nutter Brother says we need to work the inner cities. Yeah, that's definitely. The inner cities are the most liberal, the bluest of blue are the inner cities, definitely, for sure. Deborah says, we the people, America comes first. I don't believe our leaders are putting America first right now, but I agree with you what you're trying to say. America should come first. And that's what Donald Trump said years ago. He said it's our credo, America first. And that really resonated with a lot of people, myself included. Peter says, depends on who has the Dominion voting machines. Facts. I can't argue with that. Facts. April. This is a good point from April right here. She says 80,000+ people and no violence. Yeah. Where's it at? Where's the violence at? It's nowhere to be seen. And these are the raging, frothing MAGA supporters that are depicted in mainstream media articles all the time. This is scary to them. This is scary. Not because it's actually scary, because they know what this means. They know that their time is coming up. Biden, the Democrats, they are in a downward spiral to irrelevancy. And it's bigger and better than ever. John says, I've been to the UP, Drummond Island, beautiful up there. Yeah, it is beautiful here. The winters are pretty rough, though, let me tell you. Very cold. Very, very cold. Hey! Thorny Nose says, unwoke thoughts for spokesman of the best. I'll take it. I'll take any compliment. Okay, guys, any time now. I promise you. Anytime now, Trump. Trump will be arriving. Michelle says Chicago really wants Donald Trump to go there. That'd be sweet. If he comes to Chicago, I might have to go. All right. Let's go to Twitter while we wait. Let's see if there's anything new coming up with the Trump rally. While we wait, I'll leave the sound on so we can kind of hear it in the background, just in case they come up, he comes up, and we're not watching. What's this video? I don't think I've watched this one yet. Are these protesters? End military aid. Okay, these are the anti-Israel protesters, I believe. Who's this guy? Of course, we watched that earlier. So, Scott Pressler, he tweeted this out. This was filmed at 3:30 p.m. So this is the size of the rally. Hours. Many hours before Trump ever even showed up. Look at this. I mean, Biden can only dream of a fraction of this crowd. This would be headline news all over the world if Joe Biden even got a fraction of this crowd, right? But he can't. Why? Why can't he? Why don't people like Biden? I just don't get it. It's wild. So yeah, they're saying this is the biggest Trump rally ever. Hey, it's the biggest one I've seen. Yeah, breaking over 80,000 people. Media won't report this. Yeah, they'll probably say something like, they say it was 80,000, but it was actually a lot less than that. Fact check. You guys trust those fact checks? I don't know. I'm a little bit dubious. A lot a bit dubious of those. Carl says, I was just in the UP and forgot to get one of those giant hamburgers before going south. I've been in the UP for a couple years, and I haven't had one of those giant hamburgers yet. It sounds good though. Rosemary says, Florida Treasure Coast, Trump and Andrew. Hey, Trump and me. 2 peas in a pod, right? Thorny Nose says 88,000. Is that the official number? Otto Saxophone says, I don't blame him if he is late because of all the court case harassment. Yeah, apparently he's here right now. Trump is there. You know, he's probably in the back, shaking hands, kissing babies, whatever he does. Admiring this huge rally. Anthony says, how about a pasty? Yeah, I've had a pasty before, yes. That's a staple. A staple in the UP, pasties. Bunch of meat, vegetables in this like pastry thing. Really good. Very filling. We got Ohio in the house. Says Trump 2024. Yeah, Thorny brought up a good point here. The traffic must have been insane. I mean, New York traffic is already crazy. Could you imagine what it is like right now? New York, New Jersey. Come on. They're probably going to be stuck in traffic for hours after the event. I mean, it was crazy in Green Bay when I was there. And it was not just the traffic you had to deal with. After the rally, you walk outside and there was a blizzard. It's a massive blizzard. Kid you not. On my way home, I passed, I believe it was like 9 or 10 cars that were in the ditch. Kimberly Kane says, yes, Donald Trump is kissing babies, not sniffing babies. Yeah, that's a very important distinction. All right, here we go, guys.
The next president of the United States, President Donald.
Smash that like, guys.
Trump.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say that I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free, and I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Wow.
Thank you very much, Wildwood. Thank you. We love Wildwood. We've been here many times. We love this place. And there's nowhere else I'd rather be this beautiful evening. It is a nice one, right? Than right here on the Jersey Shore at the world-famous Wildwood Boardwalk. Great place with thousands of proud, hard-working American patriots. As you can see today, we're expanding the electoral map because we are going to officially play in the state of New Jersey. We're going to win the state of New Jersey. Got a great group of people with us, an incredible group of people. We're also looking really great in the state of Minnesota, which hasn't been won since 1952, and we're leading in the polls, and the state of Virginia, and actually many other states. I don't know, it could be all of them. This guy's so damn bad, it could be all of them. He's so bad, I think we're going to win them all. All across America, millions of people in so-called blue states are joining our movement based on love, intelligence, and a thing called common sense. And no one has more common sense than the tough, strong, incredible, brilliant people of New Jersey. I love New Jersey. I love New Jersey. I'm here all the time. Whether you're a Republican, conservative, independent, or even a registered Democrat, I'm asking for your help in saving America. Our country's in trouble. It's in big trouble. We've never been in trouble. We'll end up in World War III. These guys are grossly incompetent. They have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea what they're doing. You know in your heart that this country is not going to survive 4 more years of crooked Joe Biden. He's crooked and he's corrupt and he's incompetent. Other than that, he's doing quite a good job. Think of that. He's crooked. He's incompetent. He's the worst president we've ever had. Other than that, he's doing quite a good job. What do you think, Lawrence Taylor? Yes? Doing a great job. Look at those two guys, OJ, Lawrence, my golfing friends. We don't have to agree on everything, but we can agree that we want strong borders, not open borders. We want the American dream, not the Biden inflation nightmare. We want safe communities, not defund the police and abolish cash bail. How about cash bail? Of course, with me, they probably want bail. Let's get Trump to put. I'll be the only one in the country to put up bail. And instead of Joe Biden's weakness and chaos, we want peace through strength like we had it just 4 years ago. It's time to set and really what we have to do, we have to set high standards because this country has never been in a position like we're in right now. We're laughed at all over the world. Leaders that respected us 4 years ago are laughing at us. So it's time to set other differences aside and come together, get the job done for America. We're going to make America great again, and we're going to do it fast. And we're going to look at Biden. I'm sure nobody ever saw The Apprentice. That was a big hit. That was a big, powerful hit. But I'm going to look at that guy and I'm going to say, Joe Biden, you're the worst ever. Joe Biden, you're fired. Get out of here. You're fired. Get out of here, Joe. We're going to straighten out our country. We're not going to destroy it. He's destroying it. As you know, summers at the Jersey Shore have always been a fixture of life for families all across the region. But thanks to the 50% Biden inflation tax, you know, it's a new tax. 2 weeks ago, I was looking at inflation numbers. They're devastating. They're country busters. When you have inflation, it breaks countries. And I'm talking about 500 years ago and 300 years ago. And they're country busters. And it's a tradition that you have here that's so incredible, but you're being busted by inflation. Everybody is all over the country. In the past 3 years, the average New Jersey family has lost $23,381 to the inflation tax. That's a hell of a lot. And frankly, they're using fake numbers because they don't include the worst numbers. And the Biden price hikes are continuing to drain over $1,000 from the typical New Jersey family budget every single month. So it's $1,000. That's $12,000 for a family. Hot dogs. Let's talk about hot dogs. I just had one, actually. I just had one. It was very good. I hope it was made here. I don't know. You know, it was very good. Frank Sinatra told me a long time ago, never eat before you perform. I said, I'm not performing. I'm a politician, if you can believe it. I hate to be called a politician. I like I'm a businessman much better, but I guess I'm a politician. Because we did great in 2016. We did much better in 2020. A lot better. We got millions more votes. So I guess. And this time, and I will say this, the spirit that we have this time blows both of them away. You know why? Because you're still like me. But you saw what the alternative is. The alternative, it's just, the alternative is not a good thing. But I just had the best hot dog, so I said, Frank, I'm sorry. Now, Pavarotti was a good friend. He didn't have that same. He ate all the time. He didn't care. But I just had a hot dog, and it was very good. So the price of hot dogs up 22%. Chicken's up 32%. Hamburgers are up 37%. That's why I had the hot dog. It went up the least. Soda's up 30%. Eggs are up 50%. Gasoline's up 50%. Bacon is up 79%. Bacon. That's why I don't have bacon anymore. It's too expensive. Not one thing is cheaper. There's not one thing anywhere. There's not one item that's cheaper. Energy is way up. That's what caused the problem. You had low energy. You had energy at $1.87. Now it's up to almost $4 again, and it's going up higher. In California, it's got just hit $7.21 today. Some place was ripping you off. And if you're young and looking to buy a home, the 30-year mortgage rate is almost at 8%. When I left office, it was 2.6%. 2.6, a little difference. The choice for New Jersey and Pennsylvania is simple. If you want lower cost, higher income, and more weekends down at the shore, let's go down at the shore. Of course, it always depends on who the hell is there, right? The wrong people are there. You don't want to go down to the shore, but you have the right people. But we love this shore. I know the shore better than most of the people that are here. I hate to tell you that. There's nothing like it. It's one of the best, but you have to vote. If you want to keep it going, you have to vote for a gentleman named Donald J. Trump. Have you heard of him? Have you heard of him?
Let's get a Trump in the chat. Come on, guys. He's doing great. Absolute master. Absolute master. Come on.
Thank you. You know, you can't even see the back. There's so many people here. There's so many people here. Man. Over 100,000 people. If this was supposed to be, you know, they thought they'd hit 40. So they more than doubled it. But you can't even see the end. I wish we didn't have the press here. I wish we moved them the hell back so they'd have, because they can't see in the back. You know, I always tell the press, turn your cameras around to show the audience, okay? They never do it. Look, fake news. They never do it. They never do it. They're saying turn around. It is true. It's, I don't know why. Even the ones that are sort of like friendly to me, aren't too many, I'd say about 7 or 8%. But they're good. They're believers. But they never turn around. And I'd love them to show the crowd as far as the eye can see. I'd love them to show, but they don't do it. And I used to think it was a mechanical problem. You know, they have the best cameras in the world. They have the tripods, everything's, and I figured the steel, you can't do it. But then I realized early in the campaign in 2016, I realized there was a fight in the back. It was a bad fight. Somebody got into a fight way in the back, and those cameras turned around like a pretzel because they wanted to show the fight because that meant trouble. That was a bad thing. So those same cameras that you're looking at, they were turned into a pretzel. They showed that fight in detail. They showed every blow to the face. They showed. So I realized that wasn't the reason. They just don't want to do it. I can't figure it out. Here in New Jersey, you're suffering under some of the highest property taxes and sales taxes in the nation. Just about the highest. And now Crooked Joe wants to massively raise your income taxes, promising that the Trump tax cut. So I got you the biggest tax cut in the history of our country, bigger than the Reagan tax cuts years before. But they want to cut the Trump. He wants to get rid of the Trump tax cuts. Now they expire. So instead of just renewing them, he says, going to expire. And if I'm reelected, he doesn't even know what the hell he's saying. Don't forget, he can't put two sentences together. He can't find the stairs off a stage. Let's see, this stage when I'm finished. I got stairs there. I got stairs there. I got a nice ramp there. I got stairs there. And if it got really dangerous, I could jump off the front. There's nice sand. You ever see him when he's finished? He finishes a speech, which usually lasts about a minute and a half. And he always goes like this. And then he doesn't know where he goes. But, you know, we have great people, Secret Service. They always run up on the stage and they lead him off the stage. They're great. But he wants to let our tax cuts expire. And I don't do that anymore. You know, I don't imitate him anymore. Because I called my wife, our great First Lady, and I said, First Lady, we had a big speech. By the way, not as many people as this. This is like big record stuff on television. Even on the haters, they said this may be the biggest rally they've ever seen, political rally. But I called our First Lady. I said, so... It's a lot of people. Hey, look, Superman is up. We have Uncle Sam, we have Superman. I said, First Lady, how good was that? I made a nice speech, one big crowd. I said, and it's all over television. Look at all that press. Look at all of them. So it's all over television. So I said, First Lady, how great a speech was that? Who else is drawing like that? Nobody could draw crowds like that. How great was I? She said, you were okay. Oh. I said, why? What's wrong? Well, you couldn't find your way off the stage. So I was imitating him, and they said, I couldn't find my way off. That's what happened. So I have to be very careful. I'm doing the imitation, walking around, and the fake news said, Trump could not find his way off. So I don't do that anymore. I just do a modified version. I do a very modified version. That happens a lot with the fake news. You know, that's why they call them the fake news. But that means that under Biden, the average New Jersey worker will see a tax increase of just on this. Now, I've already gone through 2 tax increases, but you have another one. Add on to what I just said with the inflation tax, because that's a real tax. $2,700 per year at a time when 73% of Americans are living from paycheck to paycheck, which is a record. Never had that many people. But think of it. Oh, I wonder who that might be. Oh, that's Joe Biden. He doesn't want to land. Oh, we're going to win New Jersey. We're going to win New Jersey. No, if we win New Jersey, we win the whole thing. I think we're going to win some others also, actually. If Joe Biden wins this election, the middle class loses and New Jersey loses. But if Trump wins, the middle class wins, the people of low income really start winning again, and you're all going for the American dream. New Jersey wins, Pennsylvania wins, America wins. We have a lot of people. Who's from Pennsylvania? Who's from... Yeah, a lot of people. I went to school in Pennsylvania. Of course, you know, it's never quite the same when you're looking, because he's lost control. My beautiful school. They're rioting in front of my school all the time. What's going on here? Instead of a Biden tax hike, I'll give you a Trump middle class, upper class, lower class, business class, big tax cut. You're going to have the biggest tax cut. And we were set to do that. We were all set to do it. You know, it's interesting. When we did the tax cuts, everyone said you can't do those tax cuts. We took in more income after the tax cut, and the tax cut was massive. Everybody here knows it because everybody was affected by it. It created jobs, but almost more obviously, it was just a great cut. But at the end of the year, the country took in much more money. It's sort of amazing. In other words, people individually paid much less tax, but we did much more revenue. So it really does work, you know? It's called incentive. And the Biden economic bust will quickly be replaced with a brand new Trump economic boom. We're going to have another boom like we had. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. We had the greatest economy. You know, there's never been a time with jobs better than we had pre-COVID. And then when COVID ended, and we did a lot to end it, we did things, therapeutics, we did things that nobody else thought were even possible. And when it ended, you call that a bounce back. Everyone immediately then goes back to their job or they get a new job, but you have a big bounce back. Well, we get credit for that bounce back. He doesn't get credit. He likes to take credit for the bounce back, but he doesn't really know what it means. Somebody wrote it for him, but he wants to take credit. We had a tremendous bounce back. And it was a beautiful thing to see. People went back to work. We had that damn dust coming in from China, the China virus, and it was a disgrace. I mean, frankly, what happened to this world, the entire world, $52 trillion and millions of people died all over the world. And what a shame. But we handled it about as well, I would say, as any country in the world. And we bounced back for a lot of different reasons, and we bounced back well. On day one, we will throw out Bidenomics, and we will reinstate Maganomics. And we're going to bring manufacturing, tourism, and other industry back to New Jersey like it's never seen before. We were doing it, and we did it. There's never been a better time. Actually, your governor told me that. They've never had a better time than the 3 years just prior to COVID. And then after COVID, the recovery was so incredible. We never had a better economy in this country, the history of our country, than it was during my 4 years as president. And we're going to do something. I think we're going to beat it. Now, we have a lot of work to do. We got to do something about the fact that 20 million people have come into our country from prisons, from jails, from mental institutions, from insane asylums. And they're terrorists, many are terrorists. Other than that, I think they're actually quite a fine group of people, right? We're going to stop the Biden spending spree. He spends on things like the Green New scam. We're going to halt his inflation death spiral. Think of it, one of the greatest inflations ever in history. If you were making more money, it doesn't matter because yet you were taxed at 50%. You got to make over that in order to pick up. That's why people are hearing, oh, our economy. His job numbers are fake. They're totally fake. They're fixed numbers. They're rigged numbers. Everything about them are rigged, from the elections to the economy, everything. And by the way, the one thing that's doing well is the stock market. You know why it's doing well? Because I'm leading in every single poll, and people think we're going to win. And the stock market, and it's been written about by Scott, some of the great people, they're writing that. If we ever lost, if this election wasn't won by us, you'd see something like in 1929. The stock market's only doing well because everyone thinks we're going to win. We had a great stock market. But it's going up because we're leading in all the polls. If bad polls start coming in, we don't want to let that happen. You know, they're trying to rig the vote through this crap they're doing. But it's backfired. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. I'm more popular now than I've ever been. Can you believe it? They rigged the whole thing with the Department of Justice, and every time they indict, I've been indicted more than the great Alphonse Capone, Scarface. Al Capone was so mean that if you went to dinner with him and he didn't like you, you'd be dead the next morning. And I got indicted more than him on bullshit, too. Just bullshit. My father's looking down. I had a father who was great. My mother was great. They had a great marriage, married for many years. That's one thing. I can't beat him on that one. He was He was married for a long time, but they're looking down now. They're up there in heaven, definitely in heaven. And he's looking down and he said, how the hell did my son be placed in that kind of company? But it's okay, because the people of this country know it. We're doing great. We've never done better. People understand it. The people, normally that would be a negative, but for us it's a positive, because people, they get it. They need to do that in order to win, because they've done nothing else. They have a bad everything about them. Think of one thing that's better. You look at the Afghanistan disaster, you look at the border, you look at the economy, the real economy, not the fake economy. Everything they touch turns to what? You shouldn't use that kind of language. Look. You can't use the word shit, okay? That's like Christie. You know Chris Christie. Does anybody like Chris Christie? Good. So I was in New Hampshire, and he was fighting. You know, he's like totally unhinged. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. I would say he was a major case of Trump derangement syndrome. But he was in there, and somebody from the front row said, "Sir, he's a fat pig." And I said, but nobody heard. The person was a nice person, but said I said, you cannot call Chris Christie a fat pig. You cannot do that. Please, sir, if you call him a fat pig once more, I'm going to have you leave the arena. And the guy didn't know what was happening. I said, don't worry about it. I'm only kidding. You know. But I said, you cannot call him a fat pig, because you're not allowed to use the fat word. You know, you can use almost any word, but you can't use the fat word. It's career ending. If you call somebody fat, it's career ending. We're all fat. Except for Lawrence Taylor and OJ, they're not fat. They're not fat. They sure as hell weren't fat when they played football, were they? Huh? What do you think? I don't think so. Oh, they're great guys. So we're going to terminate the Green New scam. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We're going to get our energy way down. Don't forget, that's what caused inflation. He let energy get out of hand, and it went to $100 a barrel. And now Putin also said, Putin would have never done that with Ukraine. But Putin now says, oh, man, at 100, he can spend a fortune on the war. If he kept it at $40 a barrel, Putin wouldn't have been able to do that. But Russia's made a fortune in this war, because this man that we have that doesn't know what he's doing has allowed energy. And right now it's getting close to $100 a barrel again. You're not going to end the war unless you bring down the price of oil. But he doesn't understand that. And it's so simple. But Putin, that would have never happened. If you look at you take a look at Xi, President Xi of China, talking about Beijing. Now, they've got ships circling, they have planes, but they never were doing anything. President Xi of China with Taiwan, and I said, if you do that, it's going to be so bad for Beijing. You don't want to do that. It's going to be so bad for Beijing. He said, but what do you mean by that? You have to think about that. You're going to have to think about that. Don't do it. And he would never have done it. Let's see what he does. But boy, they have ships circling Taiwan at levels that they've never had. They have planes. It's not very comfortable to be living right now in Taiwan. And so Russia wouldn't happen. That wouldn't have happened. And you know what wouldn't have happened? The attack on Israel on October 7th would not have happened. It would not have happened. But you won't have, getting back to our wonderful area that we love, you won't have to worry about Governor Murphy's 157 windmills. And you know, one of the best fighters on that is Congressman Van Drew. He has fought so hard. I don't know, he's around here someplace. There's nobody that fought that. Right over there, you'll see these things all over the place. They destroy everything. They're horrible, and the most expensive energy there is. They ruin the environment. They kill the birds. They kill the whales. But are the ocean floor surveys for their construction that are causing tremendous problems with the fish and the whales and everything else? Nobody even knows what it is, but I think in 20 years, one whale washed up on shore, and then where they have these things, they come up all the time, dead. They come up ashore, yeah. He said they remind him of Chris Christie. What the hell are you doing? This can only happen in New Jersey, right, Jeff? Can only happen in New Jersey. The electricity cost, it's the highest in the country. It's what you've got. We are going to make sure that that ends on day one. I'm going to write it out in an executive order. It's going to end on day one. But unfortunately, the Democrats in New Jersey have embraced Joe Biden's radical pro-China plan to eliminate gas-powered cars and trucks. Can you believe it? And force everyone into ultra-expensive electric vehicles that don't go far. I always say they have a couple of problems. They're too expensive, they're going to be made in China, and they don't go far. Other than that, I think they're wonderful. On day one, I will immediately terminate Joe Biden's insane electric vehicle mandate, and there will be no ban on gas cars and gas trucks in the Garden State. There will be no ban anywhere in the United States of America on gas. You can buy electric if you want. You can buy gas. You can buy whatever you want, and that's the way it should be. It was announced last night that Biden finally listened to me. He listens to me. You know, he does a lot of things. He listens about, he's about 4 years late. But he says he's going to put a 100% tariff on all Chinese electric vehicles. Isn't that nice? Should have done this 4 years ago, but Biden is not going to put this tariff on their gasoline-powered cars or any of the other products. You have to put it on other cars also, not just the electric cars, because he's trying to make them work. You know, the subsidy that they're paying to the people, the subsidy they pay to people and to these auto companies, and you have hundreds of thousands of electric cars. They're all over the country. I think you can buy them probably cheap if you want them, but they're forcing them on you, and you can't do it. It's supply and demand. People don't want them, and some people do, and the people that do should buy an electric car. I think they're fine. I think they're good. I think Elon, he's a friend of mine, he does a good job, but not everybody should have one. If you want to take a nice trip from, let's say, New Jersey, and you want to go and visit me at the White House in a little while, don't go buy an electric car. You won't make it. Don't go buy an electric car. If you want to drive down to Palm Beach, Florida, and see me and play around the golf with me, I'd love to do it, but don't take an electric car, because you'll make about 10 stops. Because you'll be very late. Your tea time will be long expired. But why did he do this years ago? It's only a ploy to get beyond the election, and then everything will come crashing down, because they're you know, one thing I've learned about politicians, and I've dealt with them for a long time, when a politician comes out with a policy and then they run in an election and they go back and say what they have to say to get elected, they always go back to that original policy. And you know what this guy's policies are. They are bad. They are really bad. And the funny thing and the sad thing is he really never changed. He goes through, like, who the hell would keep an open border? Because I think it's killing him in the election. Now, I may be wrong. Maybe this is a great political thing, to have millions of prisoners and mental institution people come in. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe I don't understand. Maybe we all don't. Is there anything good about that politically? Is there anything good about high mortgage rates and high taxes? Your taxes are going to go up 4 times if this lunatic is elected. It's going to go up 4 times. And by the way, I have to say this. I have great respect for the office of the presidency. I never used to talk about Biden this way until he did something that you can't do. He indicted a very popular president. I mean, I was very popular. I got more votes than any other president in history. You know that. I got more votes than any other sitting president in history. On made-up charges and nonsense. You see what's going on, all nonsense. And you got local DAs doing it, but the local DAs are run out of Washington, and they're having meetings in Washington. They'll do anything to win. They think that that's going to win. It's not going to win, and it's really backfired. In fact, I heard they were going to do a couple of other things, and they said from Washington, don't do it, please don't do it. We're indicting him into the White House. He's going to be indicted into the White House. They said, don't do it. But I have to tell you, though, I was and am in awe of the office. I think it's one of the great places, great institutions, so important. But I have great respect for the office of the president, for the presidency of the United States. And I used to talk about him like a politician would talk. I'd say he's not doing a good job on taxes. He's not doing a good job on many, many things. Look at Afghanistan was such a disaster, most embarrassing moment. But I talk about it as a politician would talk about another politician. And now he did something that shouldn't have been done. I got indicted 4 times in a period of about 3 seconds. Anytime there's a plane that flies over, if my plane flies over a blue state, the following day I get subpoenaed to go before a grand jury, okay? No, he did something you don't do. You do that in third world countries, in banana republics. It's not like it's unknown, and probably in many cases it's very effective, but they do it in banana republics. We never did it here. I could have pressed Hillary a lot harder. You know, she broke up her phone, she broke them up, she acid washed them. Bit bleach, right? Bit bleach. Nobody even knows what it is, so expensive. But I really thought, you know what, you got to have a country. But I'll tell you what he did was just not something that should ever be done, especially in the way when they make up stuff. You read this crap. Why didn't they do it 9 years ago, as an example? Or 8 years ago? They could have done it many, many years ago. And they waited till the election. They waited right into the middle of the election. They even waited actually to see how I was doing. And in all fairness, I was #1 throughout the entire process. We did not have a hard time. You know, we got it in record time. Did you know that? We got it in record time. It was the fastest anybody has ever gotten a nomination, I think, from either party. The fastest. We had, normally, if it was a normal thing, I'd be campaigning right now to try and get it, but we won it 2 months ago, and nobody's ever done it with that speed. That means you like me. You don't do that to your opponent. You don't do that to your political opponent. It's done in third world countries. It's done in banana republic. It's not done in the United States of America. So then I said, well, now I'm able to speak freely, and that's when I call him the most grossly incompetent man in government, the worst president ever of any country. The whole world is laughing at him. He's a fool. He's not a smart man. He never was. In prime time, he was considered stupid. I talk about him differently now because now the gloves are off. He's a bad guy. Should have never done that because it's so bad for our country. Should have never done it. But again, I'll say it for the second time. He's by far the worst president in the history of our country. You could take, I used to say 5, now I say 10, right? I used to say, I think I'm going to make it 15. You could take the 10 worst presidents in the history of our country, add them up. The worst presidents, take them. Give me the 10 worst names. They haven't done the damage to our country that this total moron has done, okay? He's a moron. And other country leaders who I know, they laugh at him. They can't believe it. They can't believe what they're getting away with. I would have never talked with that kind of disrespect for a president until he did what you should never do. We're supposed to cherish the office of president. You don't do what he did to try and win votes, to try and hurt your opponent so he can't win. But it had the reverse effect. I'm higher now in the polls than I've ever been. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Good job. Good speech. Good speech. No, I'm higher now than I've ever been. And we're going to keep it that way. And we're going to win so big. And we're going to turn this country around so fast. We're going to do it. The biggest thing we have is we have millions of people here that are criminals. They're criminals. Think of it. Venezuela just announced, and they had a new number, it was 67, now it's 72%. 72%, they're down in crime because they took their gangs, their gang members, they took a lot of their criminals and they moved them into the United States of America. Jail populations all over the world are way down, and these fools back there, the press, the fake news, they don't want to report it. You know why they're down? Because they're sending people in their jails into the United States, from Africa, from Asia, from all over the world. They're emptying out their jails into the United States. They're emptying out their mental institutions into the United States, our beautiful country. And now the prison populations all over the world are down. They don't want to report that. the mental institution population is down because they're taking people from insane asylums and from mental institution. You know what the difference is, right? An insane asylum is a mental institution on steroids. Silence of the Lambs. Has anyone ever seen a Silence of the Lambs? The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man. He oftentimes would have a friend for dinner. Remember the last scene? Excuse me, I'm about to have a friend for dinner as this poor doctor walked by. I'm about to have a friend for dinner. But Hannibal Lecter, congratulations, the late, great Hannibal Lecter. We have people that are being released into our country that we don't want in our country, and they're coming in totally unchecked, totally unvetted, and we can't let this happen. They're destroying our country, and we're sitting back, and we better damn well win this election, because if we don't, our country is going to be doomed. It's going to be doomed. So I took hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs and taxes and fees from China and other countries also, not just China. Everyone rips us, all of them. The European Union is brutal. They all are brutal because they were dealing with people that didn't care. They had no business bent. They were politicians. They didn't want to rock the boat. European Union treats us very badly. They learned. They learned. We did a lot of things with them. Macron of France, good guy's a friend of mine, but he loves France. And he was going to put a tax on all American business, a very substantial tax, 25% on American businesses in France. And my people went. I gave it to Steve Mnuchin. I gave it to others. I said, go in and tell him you can't do that stuff. Don't do it. And they came back and they were unable to make a deal. I said, I'll give you another couple of days. Just tell him I don't want it. He came back. They said, can't make a deal. I called up Macron of France, the head. Nice guy, loves France. You know, he likes France. He's a friend of mine. But I said, Emmanuel, hi, Emmanuel. How are you, Emmanuel? Oh, Donald, I love you so much. You're doing such a good job. I said, thank you very much. I agree. But let me just tell you, Emmanuel, you're putting a big tax on American companies doing business in France. You can't do it. Oh, it's too late. Oh, I wish you would have called me early. It's too late, Donald. I cannot do it. I said, yeah, you're going to do something about it. You got to do it. Are you going to do it? I won't be able to. I said, let me just tell you something, Emmanuel. Are you ready? Every bottle of wine and champagne that comes into the United States, this was a Friday evening, starting on Monday morning, is going to be taxed and tariffed at 100%. Every single bottle of wine and champagne from France will be taxed at 100%. No, you cannot do that. I said, I can do it. It's done. I have an order right in front of me. I'm signing it. You have 10 minutes. Call me back. He calls me back in about 3 minutes. Donald, we are pleased to inform you that we were able to end that horrible tax that I won. You know how many deals I made like that? I made more deals like that. I made a lot of deals with telephones. You know, one thing I don't know, I mean, isn't it better when we don't read these stupid teleprompters all day long, you know? Biden can't get up with the teleprompter. We had a beauty we went to Ohio, and we had 45-mile-an-hour winds. The teleprompters were like a sailboat. You ever try and read something that's moving like 4 or 5? And then they blew off the stage. I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with you for an hour and a half, and I don't have any teleprompter. And we winged it. And, you know, the gentleman that I was there for, Bernie Moreno, ended up winning the nomination by a lot. And he's going to be the next guy, I hope, the next senator from the great state of Ohio, which we won by a lot. But sometimes those are our favorite speeches. And I only do this when I feel really comfortable with the crowd. And do I feel comfortable with you? I love you people. We are the same. We are the same. We are the same. But so I talked about France, but I do that with a lot. I did that with so many. I did it with Italy where they were going to do something. They were charging us a lot. And I said, if you do that, we're going to take away your visa permits. And they immediately changed. And other people, I send people that are very smart in to do the deal. And they come back, sir, they will not do it. I said, they'll do it. You got to ask them properly. But it's just, and they're very smart people, but they seem not to get the job done oftentimes. China is building massive automobile plants. I'm sure you're going to be thrilled to hear this one. A friend of mine builds automobile plants. This guy, I don't want to insult him, this guy can't walk across the street but he can throw up an automobile plant better than anybody in the world. I said, I want to see one of the plants. He said, well, you'll have to go to Mexico. I said, why? He said, the big ones are being built in Mexico. I said, what about the United States? No, the big ones are being built in Mexico. Biden has taken so much incentive away, and they're moving into Mexico. And what's happening is the really big ones are being built by China in Mexico to make cars in Mexico by China to sell into the United States to come across the border with no tax. I said, wait a minute, you mean the big automobile plants under construction now are being built in Mexico? That's right. Now, he didn't care. He builds them whether it's here. He doesn't care. He just, he's a guy who builds plants. He's the biggest in the world. I said, so they're being built in Mexico, and they're owned by China, and China's running them, right? Yeah. And they're doing that to avoid tax and labor, more expensive labor. And they're going to sell all those cars into the United States. So, yeah, they're built so that he makes the cars in Mexico, China, and they sell them in here. I said, that won't happen. I said, I will put a 200% tax on every car that comes in from those plants, and they're not going to do that because they'll destroy our automobile business. And Biden doesn't want to get involved. And those aren't electric vehicles necessarily. Those are gas-powered vehicles, which he's not doing anything about. Do you notice he's trying to save the electrical vehicle, but not the gas-powered, which is the vehicle that everybody wants. So you don't have to worry about those plants if I'm elected. If I'm not elected, those plants are going to close up every automobile job in America. You won't be making one automobile in the United States of America. And the United Auto Workers, who, I'm leading in Michigan by a lot, because they're run by an incompetent man that endorsed crooked Joe Biden. And the first thing he does is sign this electric vehicle, this mandate, that where they're going to go crazy. They're going crazy with the electric car, costing us a fortune. We're spending hundreds of billions of dollars subsidizing a car that nobody wants and nobody's ever going to buy. And it's just a shame. You see it. It's so stupid. And it's the same thing with foreign policy. Look at what he's doing with Israel. Look at what he's doing. This man is destroying our country. He's destroying our allies. And you know what? I was tough on our allies, too, because our allies always took advantage of us. But once I got them straightened out, it was fine. I mean, we had NATO, and they weren't paying their bills. And they said, well, what are you going to do? He said, Obama came in, and he'd make a speech, and he'd leave. Bush would come in, he'd make a speech, and he'd leave. Trump came in, he made a speech, and he went back, he said, you guys aren't paying your bills. And when I went back the second time, I couldn't do it the first time. I was in office for about two hours. It's hard to go 2 hours. Like I think it was my second meeting was NATO. And it's hard to go immediately. But I said, I'll be back in about 6 months. And when I came back, I said, you're not paying your bills. And they looked at me, they said, well, you mean to tell me, because I said, you got to pay your bills or we're not going to protect you with NATO. And the press, the fake news went crazy. And you're talking about, hey, they screw us on trade, and then on top of that, we take care of their military. So I said, no, you have to pay your bills. And one of the presidents from one of the countries, 28 countries at the time, 28 countries, only 7 of them were paid up. The rest of them didn't pay. And the United States was paying much more than they should have, like by about 10 times. We were carrying NATO. So we get screwed on trade, and we carry NATO. And I said, if you don't do this, we got problems. And one of them stood up and said, sir, do you mean to tell me that if I'm attacked in this very big country, if I'm attacked as a country by Russia, you will not defend me? I said, are you delinquent? He said, well, let's say I was. I said, if you're delinquent, I would not protect you. And you know what happened? And the press killed me because they said, oh, you've treated us so terribly. They respect you more. They like me more than they like other people. They understand. They can't believe they got away with it. For years and years, they got away with it. South Korea, we're paying for their military. We have 42,000 soldiers there. They pay us like nothing. I changed that. But now Biden, I understand, wants to break it. He thought I was too rough, and they're paying too much. They make a fortune. They took our shipping industry. They took our computer industry. They took so many different industries, and they're making a lot of money. They can pay for their military. And these are the things I was doing as president. Are you enjoying this? Let's get on to another subject. But Europe is being flooded with Chinese cars, and they don't know what to do. Right now, you know, China wants to take over the cars all over the world. They just want to make the cars for everybody, right? That's wonderful. But we'd like to keep our jobs, if you don't mind. But I'm not going to allow it to happen in our car and truck industry. We're going to make sure that our industry grows. It's going to grow like a weed. By the end of my 4th year, our car and truck industry will be triple the size of what it is now, and jobs will be flourishing. We will be setting records in auto jobs and truck jobs. Under Biden, it will all be gone. You will not have any car maker. That's a big, important industry, too. You can't lose it. You're going to lose it. They're going to lose it. I see what's happening already, and I think that's why I'm up, because the United Auto Workers and Auto Workers General are very smart people, and they see what's happening. And I'm up in Michigan, I believe, because of it. And I'm way up in South Carolina. In fact, I had a little, we had a little skirmish with the governor, and we won by, did we win by 40 points or 50 points? And that's fine. That's fine. We get along with everybody. Crooked Joe has not just set our economy on fire, he has truly set the world on fire. If you want to know how a weak and pathetic president really is, I mean, the things they do, just think about this. This week he announced that he will withhold shipping weapons to Israel as they fight to eradicate Hamas terrorists in Gaza. No, it was shocking to hear it. Even while there are still American hostages being held by Hamas. And they're saying, oh, October 7th never happened. You know, they say that. And Biden has fallen for it. Crooked Joe's action is one of the worst betrayals of an American ally in the history of our country. I support Israel's right to win its war on terror. Is that okay? I don't know. I don't know if that's good or bad politically. I don't care. You got to do what's right. It was a terrible attack. October 7th was a terrible attack. I don't know. It's probably bad politically, but I don't care. You have to do the right thing. There would have been no war in Gaza with me in the White House. There would not have even been a chance. You know, Iran was broke when I was president. I said, if you buy oil, anybody buys oil from Iran, they can't do business with the United States. They were totally broke. Now they have $250 billion. They made it all in 3.5 years. When I was president, we had peace in the Middle East like never before, and I got the Abraham Accords done when nobody thought it was possible. And they've done nothing with them. We had 4 countries done. We would have had them all. Every country would have been signed up, in my opinion, including Iran, because they wanted to make a deal so badly. Now they don't have to because they're a rich country. Crooked Joe surrendered to the terrorists just like he surrendered to the Taliban, and now he's surrendering our college campuses to anarchists, jihadists, freaks, and anti-American extremists who are trying to tear down our American flag. They want to tear it down. Every single place they go, they want to rip down our flag. The chaos and violence happening on our college campuses right now is all because Crooked Joe Biden doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Joe is weak. He's only good at cheating on elections, but it's not him. He's surrounded by fascists around the Oval Office. It's not him. He's not doing it. Very good at cheating on elections. He doesn't stand up to our enemies abroad, and he does not stand up to the extremists in his own party. The Democrat Party is becoming radicalized. It's becoming radical left, and they're going to lose our country. I always talk about we have enemies on the outside and we have enemies from within. The enemies from within are more dangerous to me than the enemies on the outside. Russia and China, we can handle. But these lunatics within our government that are going to destroy our country and probably want to, we have to get it stopped. And by the way, they're not on the right, they're on the left. They're not on the right, they're on the left. It's time for a president who will once again show unyielding strength. We have to have peace through strength. The very same people who are funding the violent campus uprisings are also funding Joe Biden's campaign. Do you believe this? Those people that you see putting up all that money for all those signs, you know, you can always tell a fake protest when every sign is beautifully made by a printer, all the same color, green signs, everything, they have the same, you know, they're all made by the same guy. And you say, The old days, they used to make them in the basement. Everybody would have a different sign. Now every sign is like green, beautiful. They do a beautiful job. In fact, remind me to find who that printer is because they've done a beautiful job. I have a lot of printing work. Tonight, I'm officially calling on Joe Biden and the Democrat National Committee to return the donations of all anti-Semites, American haters, and financiers of chaos who have funded the chaos on our campuses. Return the money, Joe. They raise plenty of money. When I'm president, we will not allow our colleges to be taken over by violent radicals. And if you come here from another country and try to bring jihadism or anti-Americanism or anti-Semitism to our campuses, we will immediately deport you. You'll be out of that school. On day one of my new administration, I will seal the border, stop the invasion of people pouring through our border, and send Joe Biden's illegal aliens back home where they belong. They got to be sent back home. Less than 4 years ago, we had the most secure border in the history of the United States. We had the most secure border we've ever had by far. In fact, if they ever had that sign, I'd put it up right now. Oh, that's nice. He's a nice looking, oh, that's me. That's me. That's nice. I was wondering, should I wear the hat or not? I took the hat. I said, should I wear this sucker or not? You know, do I put the hat on? But I want to try and stop a little bit of sun coming in. We ended catch and release, built 571 miles of border wall, got Mexico to send 28,000 soldiers to our border free of charge. They gave us free of charge. That was another one. I said to a friend of mine, the president of Mexico, he's a great gentleman. He's a socialist, but these are minor details. I said, you have to give us 28,000 soldiers for our border free of charge. No. Why would I do that? I'm not going to do it. No, you have to. The people, they're going through your country in caravans. I think it was the name I developed. I developed a lot of names. You notice that? People's names, Pocahontas, lots of different names. How's Pocahontas doing? That name really screwed up her campaign, didn't it? That was actually, she was doing well for president, and then I came up with the name Pocahontas, and that was the end of her. They said, we want you to apologize for calling her Pocahontas. I said, I will. I will. But I apologize to the real Pocahontas for getting her wrapped up with this woman. Crooked Joe came in and turned our country into an absolute dumping ground. In New York this month, an illegal alien criminal pled guilty to savagely murdering a man in broad daylight. You read about it. Stabbing him 10 times in the stomach, after also allegedly stabbing and gravely wounding a man in Maryland. He won a crime spree. Wonderful to have him in our country, right? Wonderful. He came in, no problem. In Florida this week, an illegal alien woman was arrested for trying to hire a contract assassin to kill 2 people. They killed 2 people violently, and she was the one that hired them. And in February, an illegal alien set loose into our country by Crooked Joe Biden was arrested for leading a major New Jersey gang that smuggled illegal aliens across the border, killing many. Now, I only ask you this question because some of you have heard it, most of you have heard it, but I have it here if you want. Would anybody like to hear, because this is the border, would anybody like to hear the snake? It's a Saturday evening. We got nothing but time. What the hell? I love these Saturday evenings. Is there anything better than a Trump rally? If some of these wackos came along, you know, these liberal singers said, actually vote for me. You know, they all vote for me. They say, oh, Trump, I don't know. You know, like Bruce Springsteen. We have a much bigger crowd than Bruce Springsteen, right? Much bigger. I'm sure he's a nice guy. How about Chris Christie? You say, I love Bruce Springsteen. And then they used to throw him out of the concert. When somebody throws you out of a concert, you shouldn't love them. You sort of say, I don't like that music, right? I remember him saying that. Then they threw him out of the concert. So this is having to do with our border. An old great song. I had to change it a little bit to make it pertinent, but it is very pertinent and very true. And it's called The Snake, and it talks about illegal immigration. and how stupid it is what we're doing right now. We're letting people come into our country that will only be trouble. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she sighed. I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. That's our country. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and soon as she arrived, she found the pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, you truly would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying, thank you, ma'am, the snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, O tender woman, take me in for heaven's sake. Take me in, O tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I saved you, cried the woman, and you bitten me, but why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in. That's our country. That's our country, right? That's our country. Mr. Governor, right? That's what we're doing. I think it's very apropos. Did everybody enjoy that? Don't enjoy it. You should be scared by it. You shouldn't enjoy it. When I return to the White House, we will stop the plunder, rape, slaughter, and destruction of the American suburbs, cities, and towns. They're destroying your cities. They're destroying your towns and suburbs. We will shut down deadly sanctuary cities such as Newark and Philadelphia. We will not let criminals come into those cities. And we will not let them release illegal alien criminals into your streets. I will shift massive portions of federal law enforcement to immigration enforcement, and on day one, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. No country can sustain what we're going through. It cannot be sustained, what we're going through. Millions and millions of people are taking over our cities, our suburbs. It cannot be sustained by any country. It's no wonder Joe Biden and his thugs are so desperate to stop us. They know that we are the only ones who can stop them. They know that. And as you know, I've come here from New York, where I'm being forced to endure a Biden show trial, all done by Biden, carried out by that's right, all being done by him, carried out by radical Democrat district attorney. You know who he is? Fat Alvin, right? Corrupt guy. He's a corrupt and really a corrupt district attorney who's allowed crime in the city to go totally unchecked. They had the other day, they had like 20 district attorneys in this courthouse for me. And they say there's no crime. Every single legal expert and scholar that's written about it says there's no crime. And they have 12 guys, even 20 guys. I've seen sometime he sits there half a day, all day. In the meantime, they're murdering people out on the streets. And then we have a highly conflicted judge. He's corrupt and highly conflicted, so conflicted. There's never been a judge that's more conflicted. Why don't you look at that? Why doesn't the fake news media look at that? And they're doing the bidding for crooked Joe Biden. This is all being done by crooked Joe Biden. As a top scholar, great legal genius, Alan Dershowitz stated, I've been doing this 60 years, and I don't understand what crime he's being charged with. There's no evidence of any crime whatsoever. This case is a sham. He said, I've never seen anything like it. But every single legal scholar is saying the same thing. And by the way, do you notice it's so beautiful now? It was a little warm. You know, we're up here screaming like a lunatic. It was a little bit warm. Now it's so beautiful. I hope nobody's cold. But I haven't noticed anybody leaving. There's nobody leaving. They never leave. If they leave, when they start leaving, it's time for me to hang it up, right? Nobody ever leaves. All of this persecution is only happening because I'm running for president. If I wasn't leading in the polls by a lot and running for president, they wouldn't be after me. I'd have a nice place. I'd be down in Palm Beach. I'd be traveling the world, I guess. The radical left Democrats rigged the presidential election in 2020, and we're not going to allow them to rig the presidential election in 2024. Not going to happen. Every time the radical left Democrats, Marxists, communists, and fascists indict me, I consider it a great badge of honor. I am being indicted for you, and never forget, our enemies want to take my freedom because I will never let them take away your freedom. They want to silence me because I will never let them silence you. And in the end, they're not after me, they're after you. I just happen to be standing in their way. We're going to be in this thing together. We're all in this together. We're bringing our country back. We're going to make our country greater than ever before, and it's going to go fast. We're pleased to be joined tonight by some great people, a man of courage and devotion to New Jersey, and I really started this with him, and you have some really good congressmen and women here, but a man that I've been very close to. You know, I hate to say this, used to be a Democrat, and I called him. I didn't know him. I said, you know, you like our policies. Why don't you just join the party? And he did, and he went on to beat a Kennedy. He had a very beautiful young woman who was a Kennedy as his first opponent, and he won that one pretty easily. Jeff Van Drew, Congressman, you are great. And Jeff and a couple of the people I'm going to introduce, but they're in charge of winning the state. So, Jeff, I'm going to take that big endorsement away if you don't win the state for Trump, okay? You did a great job, and I watched your speech. It was excellent. Jeff was horrified by crazy Nancy Pelosi's impeachment witch hunt. He was actually, I couldn't believe it, what they were doing, which was all about covering up the corruption of crooked Joes. You take a look. They want to impeach him. And I'm actually saying, look, you know, we got a majority of one. You got to just run it. We're going to have a big majority. I believe even in the House. The House is probably the most difficult, but we have things going with, I think, even in the House. But we're leading by a lot. I think we're going to take over the Senate. Things are going to be a lot different. Like millions of Americans, Jeff Van Drew made the switch to voting Republican, and he's absolutely a star. And by the way, he's the one that's keeping your damn windmills off your coast more than I think anybody. Jeff, come on up here. Come on up here. Come on up. Jeff Van Drew. He's a great gentleman and he's somebody that loves this state a lot. Say a few words, Jeff. Come on, don't fall. Don't fall. You know, if you fall, it's no good. You know, if you fall, you could make the greatest speech in history. You could be Winston Churchill, and it doesn't work. Go ahead.
Mr. President, our next president, welcome to the largest political rally that the state of New Jersey has ever seen in all its history. I made my speech, so I'm going to be quick, but I have a few questions for you. Do we love this man? Are we going to make America great again? Now, I want this one to be heard from Maine to Florida to California, across this great country. Are we going to win? Are we going to win? Are we going to win? God bless you.
I love you. Great job. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. We have a lot of great politicians out there, but before I do that, we're joined tonight and today by two incredible football legends, New York Giants, Super Bowl heroes. I guess I would have to say Lawrence Taylor is the greatest defensive player ever. I'm a little prejudiced, but I would say that. And a man who was possessed during Super Bowl. He was a Super Bowl MVP. Otis O.J. Anderson in the here. Come on up, fellas, for a second. Come on up. Come on up. These guys. Look at him. Lawrence, you look like you could play immediately. They could use you. Come on up. These guys are serious players. You know, they're my golfing partners, too. Tell them, can Trump play golf? You have to tell them.
I just want to say, I grew up a Democrat, and I've always been a Democrat until I met this man right here. I'll tell you what. He will not have to worry about nobody in my family ever vote for a Democrat again, okay?
Don't you just love that guy? Don't you just love that guy? I tell you, it has been a very exciting day. You guys, not one person left here. You're still here yelling and screaming. So my word is, Wildwood, are you in the house? Now, I can't hear you. Wildwood, are you in the house? Thank you guys for all your support. And how about a great shout out for Metro Exhibits, baby? We made it all happen, all because of you. Thank you.
Thanks, I'll see you guys on the 14th. Great guys, two great guys. Look at OJ. How would you like to have to tackle this guy? They are great people. Also with us here, a man who's really been a fighter for me for a long time, Congressman Chris Smith. Chris, thank you very much. We appreciate it, too. We don't forget it. And Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis. Nicole, she's been our friend for a long time. Everyone's going good. We love it. We love Staten Island. Candidate for U.S. Senate, Christine Serrano Glasser. She's a fantastic woman. She's a fantastic woman, and I think, look, you know what? My record is very unblemished for support. I'm giving her my complete and total endorsement because she is, where are you? Where are you? So her husband's worked for me for right from the beginning, from 2015, actually. And he has been unbelievable. And I got to know Christine, and you're going to do great. You're running against a Christie person. The Christie person. I just heard that. I said I wanted to stay out of the race, but her husband's been so good. She's been such a tremendous person, loves the state so much. I said, well, but then they said that her person is a Christie person. I said, I'm endorsing you immediately. So good luck. Keep my record intact. You have my complete and total, Christine. Go out and vote for Christine. And a man that made a hell of a speech today, I'll tell you, Mike Crispy. Where's Mike? Man, did he make a good speech. Thank you, Mike. I watched you from the plane flying overhead. I said, that guy's good. Good. And I know you have big plans for the future, and we're with you. Say hello to everybody, our mutual friends, okay? Thank you. Good man. And a man I've gotten to know, and I always said outstanding, and he was one of the candidates running. And it was a sort of a large group, and sometimes you need controversy to get yourself known. And he's he's not a controversial person. He's a very smart person. He's an outstanding person. He made a lot of money, ran for office. He became the governor of North Dakota. And the numbers there, the numbers that he's done there, the job that he's done is unparalleled. And his wife is incredible. It's an incredible couple. And so, Catherine, I want to thank you both for being here. Doug Burgum and Catherine, who's been, it's just an incredible couple. And you won't find anybody better than this gentleman in terms of his knowledge of, he made his money in technology, but he probably knows more about energy than anybody I know. So get ready for something, okay? Just get ready. But Doug Burgum has been incredible, and the country's lucky to have him. A woman who's done an incredible job in Delaware, GOP chair, Julianne Murray. She got rid of the mail-in voting. She got rid of all sorts of things. And she says we're going to win Delaware. That's a nice surprise. Where is Julianne? Where are you? Where's Julianne? So you think we're going to win Delaware? She said once you get rid of the mail-in voting, mail-in voting is largely corrupt. Once you get rid of that mail-in voting, and you were able to do that, that's incredible. Well, we're going to see. I've heard good things also, but would love to do that. Thank you, Julianne. Great job you've done at the party. I also want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms in America, and especially to my wife, Melania. I'll be home in a little while. And we're also thinking about Melania's incredible mother who just passed away, Amalia, one of the most beautiful women inside and out that I've ever known. So we want to say hello. She's up there looking down right now. She's saying, that's a large crowd of people. Where are you? That's a large group of people. From the very first day that we take back the White House from crooked Joe Biden, I believe we're going to have the 4 greatest years in the history of our country. Before I even arrive in the Oval Office, shortly after we win the presidency, I will have the horrible war between Russia and Ukraine settled. I know them both very well. We will build a great iron dome over our country, a dome like nobody has ever seen before, better than the one in Israel, which works pretty well, thanks to us also. A state-of-the-art missile defense shield that will entirely be built in America and create jobs, jobs, jobs. Much of it's going to actually be built in New Jersey. We will rescue our health care system from Joe Biden's migrant invasion. It was recently announced that Crooked Joe is now giving Obamacare and all free government health care to illegal aliens. You know what? They get treated better than our military. They get treated better than our own citizens. Every penny of Biden's plan will be funded by American citizens. Taken out of your pockets, your paychecks, your wallets. It's taken. What they're doing is crazy. This country cannot afford this. We can't afford it. We all have a big heart. We want to take care of people, but it's not sustainable. We won't have a country any longer. I will mean, and it will be, the highest taxes we've ever had to pay, the highest premiums we've ever had to pay, and much longer waits to see your doctors. That's what's happening. It's happening with your schools. Kids are occupying your schools. They're taking the chairs of your own students and your own family members, your children, and they're just not giving them back. And they don't speak English. They're sitting in chairs listening to a teacher talk in English, and they don't speak English. And it will mean Biden's border invasion will become even larger as the world floods over in search of all of these government benefits that we're giving people that come in illegally. And they're coming in illegally because of the benefits in addition to other reasons. According to a new study, illegal immigration is already costing New Jersey residents $7.3 billion every single year. That's $2,100 per household, more than any state anywhere in the country. And it comes and it stops the spending on bridges, roads, New Jersey Transit, and all of those other things that we need. Day one of the Trump administration, we will cut off all of Biden's taxpayer giveaways to illegal aliens. If the Biden invasion is not stopped, It will also demolish Medicare and Social Security. It cannot survive 20 million people coming into the country. We will take care of Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. We will take care of everything. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any country in the world. We've got so much money. We're going to take care of it. We don't have to destroy our Social Security and other programs. We've also gotten abortion out of the federal government and back to the states, the way everybody and all legal scholars always said it should be. I think it's very important because it's a very dividing issue, and it's an issue that we've worked very hard on. I have, and some states will like it one way and another way, but everybody has always wanted it for 52 years brought back into the states, and that's what's happened. It's now up to the will of the people in each state. Some states will be more conservative and others will be more liberal, but the people will now decide, and that's the way everybody has always wanted to be. Every legal scholar, some will be conservative, some will be more liberal, some will have more weeks than others, or many more weeks. Others won't have the same number, but the people will be deciding. We took it out of the federal government. Every legal scholar, every Democrat, for the most part, at the time, for years they've been trying to do it. If the radical Democrat extremists get their way, they will have a federal law on abortion in the 8th and 9th month, and even executing the baby after birth. It's okay. They want to execute the baby. They have laws. You look at the governor, the former governor of Virginia, execute the baby after birth. We will decide. You remember. But you can't do that. And the 8th month and the 9th month, they are the radical ones. Every voter has got to go with his heart and do what's right. But you also remember, you have elections. You have to get elected. So I want to just thank the 6 Supreme Court justices, Clarence Thomas, Samuel Alito, John Roberts, Brett Kavanaugh, Neil Gorsuch, and Amy Coney Barrett, for the wisdom and the courage they showed on this long-term, very contentious issue. Getting it back to the states puts the question where it belongs, with a vote of the people, and over time it will work out, and it already is working out, and the country is starting to come together on this unbelievably contentious issue. So in addition, we're going to do a lot of other things, but that's something we had to do. We had to do it. And again, for 52 years, they wanted to bring that issue back to the states. It never belonged in the hands of the federal government. And if you take a look at Ohio, they just voted a different vote than people thought. Much more liberal, you would say. Much more, as they would say, progressive. I use the word liberal. Kansas, the same thing. But that's the way it is, and it's something that we should cherish. We were able to do something that nobody was able to do, and it's all starting to come together, the issue of abortion. In addition, we're going to give back our police. We're going to give them back the protection and the respect that they need. We're going to give them immunity so they don't get sued and lose their families, lose their homes, lose their pensions. And we will stand up to radical Marxist DAs like Soros-funded DA in Philadelphia, Larry Krasner, who has set loose thousands of dangerous criminals onto the streets that go around killing people. I will also stop Joe Biden's sinister plan to abolish the suburbs. He's trying to abolish the suburbs in your state, and we're not going to let him do it. Crooked Joe is trying to obliterate single-family zoning in New Jersey and every other state and force you to pay for the construction of ultra-dense housing projects in beautiful residential neighborhoods where your house is. He will destroy your property value. He will destroy your wealth. He will let it happen. He wants it to happen. He's already getting ready to sign legislation to let that happen. We're not going to let him destroy New Jersey and Pennsylvania and all of these other places that people are very happy and they've worked hard to live there. And we will end it on day one. We're going to rebuild our cities into beacons of hope safety, and beauty better than they have ever been before. We will take over the horrible-run capital of our nation, Washington, D.C., and clean it up, renovate it, rebuild our capital city so that it no longer is a nightmare of murder and crime. People are being murdered there on a weekly basis. But rather it will become the most beautiful capital anywhere in the world. We're going to fix it, renovate it, and make it free of crime. On day one, I will sign a new executive order to cut federal funding for any school pushing critical race theory, transgender insanity, and other inappropriate racial, sexual, or political content onto the lives of our children. I will not give 1 penny to any school that has a vaccine mandate or a mask mandate. And I will keep men out of women's sports. How would you like to be a woman on a woman's team and have to play something against LT? This is not going to work out well. I will fully uphold the Second Amendment. We will protect innocent life, and we will restore free speech. And I will secure our elections. We have to secure our elections. Our goal will be one-day voting with paper ballots, proof of citizenship, and voter ID. Very simple, and we have honest elections. But until then, Republicans must win. We have to win this election coming up. We want a landslide. And frankly, there's an expression I've been using. You've got to make it too big to rig. If we win by enough, doesn't matter. They can't do it. So if you want to save America, register, get an absentee or mail-in ballot, vote early, or vote on Election Day. It doesn't matter. But whatever you do, you must get out and vote. This year, election season begins on September 16th and goes all the way to November 5th. So it's not like just November 5th. It goes to November 5th. This is going to be the most important election in the history of our country. We will protect your ballot, but you must do your part. You must get your ballot in. We have to win. And if you can, donate to cancel out the money. You have to. Look, if you can't donate, don't donate. You got to take care of yourselves. But if you can, do whatever you can for the Republican Party, because what they do is they raise so much money through different groups that are not groups that are on our side. So in conclusion, together we're taking on some of the most menacing forces and vicious opponents of that our people have ever seen. We've never seen anything like what's happening in our great country. And I really have to say, in our once great country, because right now our country is not a great country. It's a country that's in trouble, big trouble. But no matter how hateful and corrupt the communists and criminals we're fighting against may be, you must never forget this nation does not belong to this. This nation doesn't belong to them. This nation belongs to, you know who? You. It belongs to you. This is your home. This is your heritage. And our American liberty is your God-given right. From Morristown to Mount Laurel, from Patterson to Pennington, and from Ocean City to Sea Isle to right here in Wildwood, New Jersey. It's been home to some of the toughest, smartest, and most talented Americans ever to walk the face of the earth, right here. This is the state that pioneered the boardwalk, the diner, the motion picture, and gave the world American legends like Thomas Edison, Buzz Aldrin, Frank Sinatra, and so many more. New Jersey is where General George Washington led the Army to victory at Trenton and Princeton. And this is where generations of New Jersey patriots helped build this country into the single greatest nation in the history of the world. But now we are a nation in decline. We are a failing nation. We are a nation that has lost its confidence, it's lost its willpower, and it's lost its strength. We are a nation that has quite simply lost its way. But we are not going to allow this horror to continue. Less than 4 years ago, we were a great nation, and we will soon be a great nation again. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and it's hardworking patriots like you who are going to save our country. You're going to save our country. We're going to save it during this election period, during this election that goes for so long. Elections used to be one day. Now they go for 60 days, 61 days. Bad things happen. We're going to save our country. We will fight for America like no one has ever fought before. 2024 is our final battle. With you at my side, we will demolish the deep state. We will expel the warmongers from our government. We will drive out the globalists. We will cast out the communists, Marxists, and fascists. We will throw off the sick political class that hates our country, and we will rout the fake news media. We will drain the swamp. And we will liberate our country from these tyrants and villains once and for all. We are going to liberate our country. We're going to take back our country. Like those patriots before us, we will not bend, we will not break, we will not yield, we will never give in, we will never give up, and we will never, ever, ever back down. With your support, we will go on to victory, the likes of which no one has ever seen before, and we will evict crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, from the White House. We're going to evict this man, the worst president by far. Jimmy Connors is good. He's also happy. Jimmy is a very happy man, both of them, because you know what? They want him out. Jimmy Carter had a bad reputation. Right now, he is considered a totally brilliant president by comparison. Right now, he is a totally brilliant president by comparison to Joe Biden. Joe Biden's the worst in history. We have to get him out. We will not have a country left. If we have to go through years of this, even 5 months left, it's too much. It's a real possibility that they can't handle it. The great silent majority is rising like never before, and under our leadership, the forgotten man and woman will be forgotten no longer. We are one movement, one people, one family, and one beautiful, glorious nation under God. And together, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. God bless you all. Let's win this state. We're going to win it. Thank you. Thank you very much. We love you all.
Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump. What'd you guys think? What'd you got? Did he do good? I'll put it to you guys. Do you think Donald Trump did good in front of the 100,000 people in the audience? Well, somewhere between 80 and 100,000. I don't know exactly how many people in the audience, but for sure over 80,000 people. Trump said 100,000. And I believe it. Look at the size of that crowd. Come on, guys. Let's give him a Trump 2024. A couple things that I noticed. First, when he was talking about Doug Burgum, and he was talking about energy, he said, just wait, you'll see there's some big things coming. I don't know if that it was like a foreshadowing, because he hasn't announced his VP yet. So what do you guys think of that one? You think he's going to pick Doug Burgum for VP? I don't know. I don't know much about the guy. I really don't. And then another thing, did he say there were 20 lawyers going after him in this hush money trial in D.C.? 20 lawyers out of DA Fat Alvin Bragg's office, apparently, are going after Donald Trump. And speaking of this hush money trial in New York, I am covering every single day of this trial. And Michael Cohen is coming up Monday. He's going to be on the stand. I'm going to be covering that. Every single word that I spoke in the courtroom, I read it for you guys. So if you guys want to follow that, hit that subscribe, smash that like button, hit the notifications. But before we go, I do kind of want to see. I kind of want to see if. I want to see what the mainstream media is saying about this rally. Because you know, they are extremely nervous about what's going on here. Let's see, what do we have here? The New York Post. I want to see what MSNBC is saying. That's what I want to see. Where's MSNBC? They were up here before. Oh well, let's look at what CNN is saying right now. All right. Former President Trump will hold a beachfront rally.
Outstanding speech from President Donald Trump.
I want to see how many people they say are in the audience. Let me guess. I'm going to guess that they're not going to say the actual number because it's too embarrassing for them, guys. It's too embarrassing for them to say that there were 80,000 people in the crowd because this spells the absolute downfall of the far left agenda and the Democrat Party for 2024. The House and the Senate, I believe, are going to swing way, way red. So nothing really in CNN right now. I clicked refresh. Trump rally, New Jersey. Let's see here. Let's go to news. Come on, let's see an MSNBC. They're the worst. As far as I'm concerned, MSNBC is the worst of the worst. You know, they probably just took they probably took their entire site off. Oh, here we go. What does this say? He is not welcome. Is there even yeah, there's not even an article attached to this, but whatever. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we have for today. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And, you know, thanks to Michelle, everyone, if you haven't liked the stream yet, hit that like button for Michelle. She's the moderator. She does a fantastic job, and that's how I pay her. I pay her in likes. And if you don't like the stream, she will go after you. She will. It's not me. It's her. She's the one that enforces. I just work here, okay? I just work here. Well, let's see what you guys are saying. Wow, I had a much larger turnout than I thought I was going to have. I mean, I don't stream too often on my channel, but this was a fantastic turnout. Got Maritza in the chat, Trump 2024. Terry says, not Burgum. Yeah, I don't know. It was just that kind of odd, that little statement he made after talking about Doug Burgum. I don't know if that was supposed to mean something or what. Jose says, Sleepy Joe can't gather the 10 roaches together. Yeah, I mean, he would have to pay him substantially in order to get even, 10 people out of this crowd. Rick says, love Trump. Darlene says, Trump is the great. I mean, if I didn't know better, I'd say all you guys are Trump fans. Nutter Brother says, your trial coverage is excellent. Hey, I mean, come on, I'll take it. Hey, I love the compliments. I do my best. Okay. I do my best. We've got some FJBs in the chat, and we all know that. If you don't vote Trump this time, don't cry later. Amen. That's correct. But ladies and gentlemen, we've been streaming for over 3 hours. Donald Trump was supposed to come out at 4 o'clock my time. And he didn't make it on the stage until 6 o'clock, something like that, or 5. Yeah, no, 5 or 6, a little after. I don't know. I forgot. I was kind of wrapped up in the stream. But we've been here for quite a while. But I appreciate all you guys for joining. If you could please, before you get off, hit that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. Hit that like button. And I will see you guys.